Okay, we're going live.
Yeah. No, we're not focusing on the game.
Right. Okay, guys. Hello.
Hello.
We'll be trying something crazily fun right now.
Hey.
So
Hello.
bear with me. We had a little bit of a meltdown, so we can do an audio check.
He says we. He means he.
Yeah, me.
Yeah. Have we got the title for this? Have we tweeted this out?
Yeah, it should all be out and tweeted.
Yeah, you've tweeted it.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, hello and welcome. We are attempting to do the first ever podcast / from 3.0 without it crashing.
Right, get out of bed.
So we are all currently in the same instance, as far as I'm aware. Has anyone spawned a cutlass on a pad?
Nope. I don't want to fly.
Okay.
I'm useless.
Okay, so that'll be me then.
I can fly.
Okay. Bio's feeling confident. You go ahead and spawn one.
But it might be that you know it looks interesting if you fly. So you fly.
Well, I'm quite happy
hello
to.
everybody, and welcome to the podcast episode 38. So this week, there's not much that's been happening really. It's been a very quiet week for Star Citizen. We haven't really got a lot to talk about, so we thought we'd just sit here and, you know, play the game instead.
Yes. So
this week we are joined by the wonderful SupermacbrothersRyan.
Oh
Yeah. And also Mr. Biomechanical.
You're that.
Okay.
You're that truck. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, Chuck.
So here we go.
So are we going to bother going around and asking what people have been up to, or is it that obvious that it's
3.0 Dungeons and
Yeah.
Dragons.
pretty much?
Pretty much.
It's 3.0 for me and working, and the new show last night. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
boys. Well, I have to say, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, the frames are ropey.
They've dropped because you've come in.
Came in. Yeah. We were good before.
Yeah, it's just, you know, that's what happens. Just the sheer. It's just, I don't know why.
The madness.
It's sheer
Where are we
scale.
going? Because you didn't say. Where are we going?
Don't worry, I'm going to tell you.
We're all on A. So where are
Why
you?
are you all running that way for?
I'm on A. I'm on A as well, so we're good. I'm on A. I'm on A.
Yeah. What? I'm following Miz. I think.
I will tell you if you just go outside. Landing pad 00. I think it is 00.
A strut, yeah.
Hang on, yeah.
This
I'm
is
on A
button,
strut.
Can't open the
I'm on A
fucking
strut
door.
01. A strut 01.
pressed it.
And
There you go. Got it.
I did it.
Okay, here we go, guys.
No, I did it.
First ever podcast from Paul Olisar.
Hopefully, planet
Wait for
side
you all
rather
to
than...
arrive. Yeah, we're trying to go see if we can get to planet side. All right, okay. So let's just. Should we talk about the inner? Should we talk about the? What do you guys think of the new, you know, user interface and the inner thought system and all that stuff? What's your thoughts on it so far?
It's cool.
Going first. Yeah.
I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's obviously at times it's buggy at the moment, but I can see that they have put a lot of thought into it, and there's a lot. Obviously, there's so much more room to kind of
There we are.
progress
Look at that. Yes.
and go further. But yeah,
We're all there.
Where's
Woo!
your shit? 0-0, but
Oh.
I'm not seeing your cutlass.
It's right here. What are you talking about?
I am not seeing it. Is anyone else seeing the cutlass?
Yeah. Like, walk
Yeah.
up. If you walk straight ahead, this is what's it
Okay,
do.
I'm just going to keep walking.
Just walk straight up.
he just
walking straight
disappeared.
through it?
No, you just disappeared.
Oh
I'll try
no.
and come back.
Okay.
Where have you gone?
Do you want me to like?
So how long did it take you to get out of your Easy Hab room when you first got in? Me? Any of you? I didn't.
Oh, quite a while.
I'm gonna respawn. Maybe it's just a desync issue. Let me respawn.
Okay. Oh, but I have to say, look. I mean, the first thing I noticed. I mean, the user interface was pretty good, but this with the spinning back again was fantastic.
Yeah.
Having them spinning again and just the view out the back. I mean, when you saw, I mean, Crusader just looks gorgeous. Don't you? About you guys in chat and stuff. But I mean, that was
love
stunning.
Crusader when you're on another planet and you
And
can
the
see
cutlass.
it in all its different glories, different
Yeah.
sizes and everything. That's cool.
Someone did a video of
This is pretty sweet.
the 2.6 versus 3.0 and put them side by side. I haven't watched it yet.
Can I get another
if
invite?
this fouls and
Another
crashes on
invite?
us, then
Yeah, please.
we
Yeah,
will.
we'll go back to normal.
Should we bring a dragonfly in the back of this? That's what we should do.
We can try.
So yeah, someone's done a video. So if this all fails and crashes, we'll show that video off as well.
so you can see what it all looks like. But it does look 10 times better at the moment. It's looking amazing. It's nice to have some motion on the stations, like with these rings moving, so you can actually see some movement. There's also a brilliant video out there by Relim, who's shown the time lapse of the movement of the different planets and of Olisar and things like that, and sped up the time. Which
that's cool.
And considering this is like an alpha game, it looks absolutely stunning. I was like, just mind blowing. It was, like what the hell's that cutlass doing?
Damn it! Full servers, 50 out of 50. That's why the frame rate dropped by the looks of things.
I think we're re-queuing for an
instance. Okay, good. This sometimes does crash us all up.
We've been sent to a new server. I think.
This does crash the game sometimes. So we'll find out.
We'll try. But anyway, whilst this is doing that, we'll try again. It was working. I can't believe you didn't see it. That's such a shame.
I guess so weird. Yeah.
We could next time.
The time lapse is awesome. If I can get, give me a second. And
that time lapse is awesome.
We will be showing it off.
Today while I was on stream, we got to yellow, and I was just waiting because I could. It was nighttime, but we stood and we just waited for the sun to slowly come up. And it's like you look at sunsets in real life now, and you think they don't look as nice.
No,
they haven't done it as nice as in game.
I prefer the game sunsets. Yeah, it's like I reckon this whole thing was a whole fluke because no one can actually make something that pretty purposely. It has to be an accident, like an act of God.
Right, this is not what we wanted, but this is better. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, and this morning all I heard was an explosion.
Oh, well, I'm still on black screen, I think. So, hopefully
I've loaded in.
Hopefully, we'll get in a second. Isn't it? I find it so funny how it's so different for everybody. The loading times are so wildly different. Like people,
just shows who's got a better computer.
I'm never the first person in. Never.
Do you have it on an SSD?
No, that's probably what it is, isn't it?
That's probably part of the reason. Yeah.
God damn it. SSDs.
And Tinterweb may interfere with it a bit. Right, I'm at Seastra. Are you guys still in the game?
I'm back in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm just gotta figure out what strut I'm on.
Yeah, you guys figure out what you're doing, and hopefully my game will wake up for a second.
I'm on A strut.
Whilst
I'm on A.
Quickly do. So this is very kind of. Yeah, we're doing this live and hot, so you're gonna have to bear with me.
I haven't seen it on link. Those of you that haven't seen it, the time lapse video link is there in chat. Save it for later.
Yeah. We will be doing it later. I'm just having to quickly do a very quick hot fix.
Oh wow. Wow, that burn.
It was, wasn't it? I'm just gonna ignore it for now.
I've got no inner thought system at all.
You have to keep pressing F and just sort of spam
just press Alt F and then go press F. Alt F is normally to exit out of something, and then for some reason I do that every time, and then that system comes back.
Are you still loading, Madness?
I think he is.
I think
Did you kill yourself?
No.
Okay.
I just started a new instance, so
black screen.
Yeah, I've just got the black screen, which is always fun, isn't it? But it's okay because I can just quickly sort out the 4-man page on XSplit, which decided to go crazy once I started a Star Citizen up. You gotta love Star Citizen for just changing everything, just as you're about to start the show. It's like
I'll get a dragonfly ready.
Well, let's talk about what's on the agenda then. What were we going to talk about?
Yeah, talk about ships.
This week has been the ship sale as well as the 3.0 drop.
Yeah.
So the first day was Anvil.
Mm-hmm.
And we had obviously the introduction of the Anvil Hawk.
Oh yeah, I bought one.
Single-person bounty hunter ship, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I think is Go on, Matt. You go first, man.
All I said was it's good. No, I like it. I like the place where you hold the guy, where you sort of suck him into the bottom.
Did anyone else think that was like almost sadistic? It's like you put him in a little tube and then the tube gets sucked up, and then it goes inside another tube. It's like, fuck. Let's hope he's not claustrophobic. Because
it's also a bed, though, isn't it, as well?
He's a criminal, Miz. He deserves what he gets.
Oh, what's he take all rights away from a criminal? You're a criminal.
If he just stole a cooler from Dumper's Depot, you're not really going to chop his ass up.
Oh no, we're back. It just came on. It just came back
on.
Just gotta wait.
I think
I just thought it looked a bit like wow.
I was really excited to hear more about because I know about the prisons and things. Because I know when I was streaming about a day before that sale, we were discussing prisons and how it will work, and we said that if you get taken by captured as a bounty, you don't want to be stuck in the back in case people control you. So you automatically be taken, wake up at a prison or whatever, or go into the prison reception and get checked in.
Yeah.
Not that it's a hotel.
Checked in. I'd like to get checked in, please.
Room service. One, please. And then you obviously have the NPC still in the back of the ship, which that guy can then take to the prison as if it's you, kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of just do a daily routine job, or like a mundane job in the prison, or you can try and escape, which I like the whole idea of having like the Riddick scenario where you can not try and escape.
C. Did we all on C?
Ah, bollocks, I've just come from C.
Are we all on C?
No. I was trying to bring a dragonfly, but it's gone upside down.
Okay, so if everyone can get to C, and then I will. Should I? If I wait for you all to get here, and then I'll spawn it, and then we all go out at the same time into the same airlock, and then hopefully it will all spawn for all of us, rather than.
Well, I'm already outside, so.
I don't really care as long as it spawns for me.
Yeah, exactly. It's all just about. We're doing it just for Mac.
You can all get screwed.
Yeah. No, but I mean, okay, so. I love the styling of the Hawk. I think the styling of it is quite interesting. It's obviously a younger, newer Anvil ship, so it's going to have it's got a little bit more of that fresher kind of boy racery kind of, the new Anvil type thing going on. Personally, I don't think it's a very good bounty hunting ship. No. I think it's there are better ones. Like if you think of the best bounty hunting ship in your mind, like Slave 1, it's got cargo space and it's got a bit more variety about it. So for me personally, it's not going to do that job.
Yeah, but that's because but you're thinking of that as like as an all-rounder thing, whereas like if you're just having it just bounty hunting, then.
But I think if you're a bounty hunter, you're probably going to be doing a few more things. You're not going to be just. It depends how bounty hunting works, but I wouldn't be surprised. It might not be just humans that you're bounty hunting eventually.
No.
You could be aliens, and you could be other things that you could be collecting. So that's the way I look at it. I kind of more of a hunter.
What platform did you say? C what?
C. I'm just about to spawn it, so let's just.
Thinking about it though, the size of like the pods in say the Avenger Stalker. They're not big enough for anything other than a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Banu and the Jan are really tall, aren't they? Or the Banu are. Yeah. So I wonder if they'll introduce a different. Yeah, just chop them up. I wonder if they'll
C8.
one.
C8, lads.
Yeah, the sort of drop. Yeah, see, I've got the Hawk. I actually upgraded my Warlock to the Hawk just because they're very similar ships, and I've flown the Warlock, and I just think like there's something missing.
Yeah.
And I just somehow, I don't know, like what pleases me with the Hawk is that the fact that you've got that glass panel by your feet, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. And for me, I wanted to kind of take screenshots in the game as well, and I just think that would be nice to kind of really get some kind of beautiful kind of shots down through. But also, I just feel like it's going to be a really good pirate ship because it's one.
The fuck.
Nice landing.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a
fucking plonk down.
Yeah, me too. And I've got no health back on me. Great. Yeah, and I just think it's going to be a good pirate ship just because of the EMP it's got, the way it can fully like go stealth and just sit there. And if you think about it, you can wait on a proper transport run of cargo, like so the path that someone takes. They're going to go to the station. You can sit above them in darkness. So when you look through your like glass panel bit by your feet, if you see them go underneath you, you can switch on your engines and just power the EMP off, disable their engines, and then call your backup to come.
I want to see them. I want to see that people being chased down by one. where they're running on the ground. Oh, why am I injured? What the? I'm in the bottom of the... Oh, fucking hell. Hang on. I've fallen through the landing pad, now I'm stuck underneath somewhere.
Who's in a dragonfly?
Who crashed into...
That would have been Miserable's fault then.
Who crashed? Miz, did you just crash into Matt? We just got him fucking here. You just
boosted me through the landing pad.
Oh my fucking day, seriously. Right, anyway, we are going to continue.
I was trying to go slowly into the back, but the dragonfly's a bit uncontrollable.
Trust me.
I
tell you what, guys, right, this is my first thing. I want a light switch for my ships, because at the end of the day, if it's got enough power to open the doors, it should have enough power to be able to have a light switch to switch on, so rather than use my torch all the time. I'd like a bit more light, if I'm being honest.
There is what do you call it option where you can switch it, like Alt and T turns off your headlights, and if you put power on in your ship, then it turns it on. But yeah, you can't do it
manually
like you do. You always enter into a
darkness, which is very mood, creates a lot of atmosphere, but I'd like to be able to. So how many people have we got? Anyone who's actually able to make it? So far I've got a nomad person next to me. Is that you?
That's me.
So I've got Bio.
That's me. I just saw Miz literally nearly there, and he was shooting up in the air.
Oh my fucking days!
Miz, do you want me to fly it, because I've got dual sticks and it's actually quite easy to fly.
Welcome anyone that's just dropped in. We're doing a live games podcast, so we're going to attempt to try as a podcast team. We should already be taken off by now, but Miz was flying a dragonfly, and shit's just gone wrong. Never let him on a dragonfly.
I saw him looking at me with the dragonfly, and I thought,
Madness, can you just shut the door? Can you just shut the door a minute so I can just heal up?
Yeah, sure.
Because there's like
back onto the don't let me fly. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Because there is a glitch of this still.
With the Hawk as well. The other thing I thought was interesting is the fact that they're making more things with EMPs in them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting.
We've seen a big surge of them, haven't we, of EMP?
Which is
not EMP, it's distortion, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm nervous about it because, let's be honest. I mean, they are probably one of the #1 griefing type of mechanics at the moment in the game. I worry that if they just suddenly give every ship this EMP ability, or it just seems to be there's so many of them flying around everywhere, the game will become almost unplayable because they will have all these people just bombing around, EMPing everybody left, right, and centre, and it won't be. It's not that enjoyable if every time you get out of your airport, someone's just sat there waiting and just EMPs you all the time.
I mean, I'd rather they EMP me than they fucking destroy me, to be honest.
Blow it up instead.
Yeah, because otherwise you're having to go back. But it is kind of like you wait till you get into atmosphere, don't they? And then they EMP you and...
Yeah, that's what they'll be doing. They'll just be waiting for you.
Down and blow up.
Yeah. You just... Yeah. Right, where are we at, boys?
I'm just coming through the airlock now to...
where are you at, Miz?
Through the airlock.
I hope he's dead.
Oh, they both died. They both died.
Serves you right.
No, I killed myself because...
For some reason, my inner thought system's decided to not work now.
Yeah, mine's not working.
Keep spamming it.
Server crash.
Fuck off.
Press Alt F.
Don't worry, I'm going to go in the seat. I'll just open it from the seat.
I was going to say, just press left Alt and F, and then that normally brings it up for me.
Right,
see?
I'm outside.
Oh, yeah. All right.
See?
Smart, Bio. Someone's been playing more than me, clearly.
Oh no, I'm just literally, me and...
Nope, it's not working still.
Saintsy and a few people have literally just kind of forced the game to bug on us.
It's not working on that. It just gives me the bloody seats.
Yeah, just keep doing it again. Just keep doing it, mate, and then eventually it'll come up. I can open it. Oh no, so then... No, I can't. You've locked it.
No, I haven't locked it, but I'm going to go in the seat. Oh, I got the stupid...
One day though, this shit will work.
I know, it's just like, come on.
So as you can all see, this is kind of a good sign of what we're trying to explain when we're not telling you when we're in Ivocadi how buggy it is.
Let me see if I can open the doors from the pilot seat.
It does become unplayable at times.
Yeah. I'm going to try. It is almost unplayable, but it's pretty sweet. Right, there we go.
Look to your bottom left.
Yeah.
Towards your left.
Bottom right, isn't it?
Let's just turn the power on, shall we?
I think so.
Power on?
There we go. What's next on the agenda?
Hello and welcome aboard your
Right, we're going to open exterior. Here we go, boys.
There it was.
So that was the Hawk. Is anyone else have anything else to say?
There we go.
On the Hawk?
There we go.
Did anyone
All the doors are open.
Bio got one.
What's that?
A Hawk.
Yes, I got the Hawk, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And I can't wait to sit in the darkness with it.
It's got. I do like the way that the wings kind of fold up. Do you know what we were talking? I was talking about this because I've now got a Carrack, and we were thinking that maybe that might be the snub ship on board the Carrack because it folds down, be quite small. Maybe they'll give us a scouting variant, a scout variant, so more of an exploration variant.
Why do you think it sort of? Are
we all on board, by the way, guys?
Mm-hmm.
We're waiting for you, Miz. Are you in?
Yeah. No.
Oh, the frames are dropping.
Yeah, 6.8.
Where are you, Miz? Are you actually in the game, or are you just loading in?
Just glued to the station. It won't let me do anything.
You're doing what? You're glued to the station?
Glued to the station.
Is that because you used your mobi-glass?
No.
Well, at least we get some beautiful views of my face.
I think we got people in chat
and the Aurora
game as well.
Okay, I think I'm coming towards you now.
Yeah.
But the Cutlass is a cool ship.
So, I mean, in chat, what ships have everyone? Well, I mean, myself personally, I've only got the one ship, which was, like I said, upgraded.
There was something in the Hawk write-up that there are going to be other variants as well.
Yes, there's going to be a stealth version. I'm not sure what the other version is. Obviously, we have the current one, the bounty hunter version. So I don't know if there'll be a snub fighter or exploration.
If there brings a pirate one, I'm like,
Scout.
no.
Well, you know, you can always kind of.
I'll buy that as well. You know me. Yeah.
I do know you.
Yeah, I'm coming to the back of the ship.
Oh, cool, Miz. The door open for you, Miz? You in?
All the doors are open. Miz is like.
I'm kind of waiting to see if we can get Miz in. I can just. There he is. There he is.
Miz looks stuck, lost.
I can't see anybody else. My thing's bugged to hell, but there we go.
Are we in?
I'm in.
In.
I see him. I see him. He's there. He's there.
He's just in the seat and try.
No, don't sit in the seats. Do not sit in those seats.
Yeah,
Why
no,
not?
they're glitched.
It might unglitch me though, because I'm stuck on like thought mode. There we go.
Go in the bed then.
There we go.
You can shut the doors now, but so we don't blip out.
Yeah, hang on. We're doing it. I'm closing exterior here.
I'm going to go in the gun turret.
People more than welcome. You can go in a gun turret, or you want to go and sit down on a seat. I can't really show you screens, unfortunately, but
why not?
Yeah, haven't you set that up yet?
I haven't set that up yet. We're taking off now, boys.
So
let me get some power to us all.
We're still counted as PTU Wave 1 right there. When has most people still got access to this now, or is there still quite a
Wave
few
3
people
still, I
waiting?
think, isn't it? Which subscribers and concierge.
Which planet shall we go to, lads?
Either or.
I thought we were all under Wave 1, but they did it in 3 groups. That's what I got told.
Well, they called it Wave 1, 2, and 3, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 subscribers.
Because it was really because it was really confusing with how they were doing it.
Yeah.
Pay to enter.
Which one's more interesting then, daymar or Yellow?
It is pay to enter.
I love daymar. But
all right.
Yeah, go daymar if you can.
Just
do whatever you can.
Set destination.
What about the mining? We can go to the mining place.
What area mining?
One frame if we want
one for one.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I've been to that place so many times now.
What happens if I stand underneath the turret and you come down on it?
I'll probably kill you. You'll probably go actually through the ship.
So,
I tell you what, one of
so yeah, I think this counts as Wave 1 still.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I believe so. They basically. I think what was it Tyler put out? He did it wrong anyways. He wrote the name the wrong way round with concierge and subscribers.
Not shoot me.
So I think he just wrote it wrong. So I think it was supposed to be we're Wave 1, but there's Group 1 or Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3 of Wave 1.
The thing is, this is CIG all over. They get so bogged up in 0.1s, 1s, 2s, 0s, and all their communication goes out the window. That they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
We've got no ammo.
This is just another thing where it's just confusing as hell.
Oh, okay, so I don't know about you guys, but it is one of the best, most realistic, most awesomest space games I've ever played when it works. It's just amazing.
It's scary to play on your own, this game. Now. Yeah.
Right, I need to find... Do I need to find orbital things to jump to? I do, don't I, to get closer?
You probably should, yeah.
OM3. Here we go. Here we go. Quantum Drive is now. I like the new voices as well, and Yeah, it's all very moodier. You know what I mean? Everything's got a much more moodier feel. 3.0.
I just love the detail on these ships. It's like, you know, when you saw them the first time, all the ships, and
all right, Buck.
They actually then redid them. The original ships I thought looked incredible. Then they redo them and you think, wow, they can't do them any better than that. And then they redo them again and you think, oh, okay, they can. But they're just sitting in the back of this and just watching you piloting. Not generally just you piloting, just someone piloting.
Yeah.
You know? It looks awesome from back here.
Right, we jump into OM2.
Okay.
So I think, from what I understand, is you kind of, from what someone told me, you jump to basically the closer ones, and then you can kind of just fly down to the planet.
Yeah, the OMs take you closer to the planet, and then you just go top speed afterburner.
Here we go.
Through the atmosphere and whatnot.
All right, we're going to go to. I can't. This is the one thing I find a bit annoying: the green writing against the lightness of the planets. I don't know about you guys, but it's almost impossible to read anything.
And vice versa as well. If it's nighttime and you're trying to see out the windshield, the actual UI is too bright and you struggle. It's like the worst of both worlds.
You're getting old, guys. You're getting old.
Well, also,
your eyes are going on.
And you can't tell what's behind the planet and what's in front of the planet. There's no X or
yeah. That's what I struggled with that yesterday.
Yeah. Where you think that you're heading towards it and you're 800 kilometers away, and then you realise that's actually the moon. You're like, what? But you don't expect it, and it really surprises you.
We're boosting down. We're up to.
Have you guys found the javelin yet?
No.
No. I barely. I've only had maybe most of the time I've actually been in the game without it.
I think it's literally round. I won't say it because I don't want to spoil it for people. But I don't know exactly where it is. I know people in Addicted know where it is and they've found it already.
Yeah, because everyone's sharing that.
I've been told.
Video.
On Reddit, isn't it?
I'd rather just find it.
Right, we're decoupled.
So there's like coordinates, isn't there, out there?
So I guess the idea is that, you know, I in theory should be able to set the destination speed as if we were tracking. I get out of the pilot's seat, and then I come and say hi. Hey, you guys.
That works though, does it?
No.
How's everyone doing? You alright? You all good? Yeah.
Oh no, we're still moving. We're still moving.
There's everybody.
Are we still?
Yeah, you're still burning.
Slam into the planet.
Oh, that's cool then. Yeah, we're actually checking how far we are.
No, hang on, maybe I should get back in the seat a second.
You might want to reclaim your cutlass at some point because you've got no ammo, or just restock it at some point. You know, got no ammo in your guns.
That's the story of his life, isn't it?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry, there's no.
Well, have you taken the guns off it? Like, just removed them?
But I mean, I had a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of people talk about, you know, the length of time to get to the planet and all this stuff. But I'm like, well, at the end of the day, the game is, you know, we've got massive ships. So if you've got massive ships to walk around in, you need to have time to walk around in them and to enjoy them. So.
Yeah, I think they're going to strike a good balance there, aren't they? Because it should, in order to make the world feel big and vast and the planet seem big and whatnot, you need to have that time to destination quite lengthy.
Actually, guys, where can I spawn a vehicle?
Mining stations.
141.
Yeah.
Is that on the other side of this? It's on the other side.
Just down.
Play with will make it so that you do get entertained, and also just planning things with your.
That's a shelter.
There's a mining facility there, SCO1.
Yeah, go for the mining.
Okay.
I don't know if that's on this side or the other side. We'll find out.
How far is it? You want to aim
536 kilometers. I think that's too far, right? This one says 600, so I think it must be near.
Yeah.
Unless that.
We're entering up. Oh, it's doing a stupid. Oh no, it's not. Right.
Oh, we're okay.
We're okay. We're all good.
We've got the flames. We're all good. I'm gonna have to slow her down a little bit. I think just take the bit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Do you think there's a reason for the fact that it folds up?
Right, we're coupled.
It's going to be like a sub fighter, snub fighter for the.
What folds up? The Hawk.
The Hawk folds
Bringing
up.
The speed
It's on the other side. It's on the other side.
We might be coming in a bit hot here, guys.
Oh my god!
I'm just falling.
Whoa!
Don't worry. It landed it like a babe.
Yeah. So all moons are trampolines at the moment.
Don't worry.
Because the damage ain't fully there.
That was.
Oh look, there's mining corp just over there, mate.
Oh, mining corp's miles away.
Oh, they're all all on the other side of.
on the other side of the bloody... Anyway, we're landing it down. We'll land it down.
Okay, we're just going to walk from here, are we?
Yeah, we're going to walk. Don't worry, what I'll do is I'm going to land, just so that we've actually managed to achieve landing.
I'm falling. I'm out the ship and I'm just falling.
What?
You know that song you should put... Da, 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 da.
Oh, shit. Oh, hang on, I didn't land that very well. We're doing a wheelie. Hang on, let me just take her up a bit. Let me take her up a bit. Mac's going to land on my windshield in a minute.
I'm hoping I'm going to land near you. I can see where you've landed.
Slow down, slow down. Jesus Christ. The flying mechanics on this is insane.
System destroyed.
Weapon system destroyed.
It's still inside the ship.
Hang on.
Who's firing that? Oh my god! Who's firing? Ryan.
Right.
It's not me. I've literally just fired now.
Yeah, you're inside the ship, dude. Stop.
What?
You're inside the ship.
He's shooting. He's firing rounds. Weapon system. The ship's on fire.
I'm literally just about to land on the earth.
No, you're inside the ship.
That is weird. Yeah. That is weird.
The ship's on
I
fire.
might suddenly die. Just keep watching me. I might suddenly just die. I'm literally hitting the floor now.
Oh my god! Right, let's get
I survived.
You're still inside.
I'm 600 meters from you.
Bollocks!
So
I need to open all the doors from the cockpit. Oh, for fuck's sake!
There's always something in there.
These glitchy, buggy ships. Hang on, let me get in the cockpit again. Oh my god, the ship is parked in a strange angle. Hang on.
Yeah, I think we get.
Oh, it's not even parked. That's why.
Just be careful when normally when you crash and then you step out, you.
Yeah, don't worry. We're just gonna get the landing gear down.
Just say hi in chat, please, once.
Hi, chat.
Hi, Bunsen.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, we're all concentrating.
We're just trying to get on the first ever live podcast with everybody getting.
It's kind of weird, though, dude. It's kind of weird. We are all in the same game.
We are here. We're all here.
There we are.
And opening the exterior.
Oh!
There we go.
Oh, I'm gonna let you step on the ground first, Madness. Come on.
I'm trying to get out of my seat.
Quick, take it off.
There we go. There we go. We're out. We all do it together. Not one individual. Let's all do it together. Ready? Everyone. Where Mac's already probably fallen through the roof. I think.
I'm about 300 meters away from you. I'm just running towards you.
We're gonna jump off here. We're gonna jump off the edge.
All right, ready? Jump off the edge in 3, 2, 1.
Go!
No, Madness. Oh, no, I can.
Yay! Good job,
friends.
I've got no rounds. Oh no, I have rounds. I don't think I have any rounds. Sorry,
Madness has no face.
Hang on, don't shoot me. I'll die instantly.
Madness's space helmet. If you look inside his visor, he's got no. He's just invisible.
Blood loss.
He's not actually there.
Look at that.
If you stood inside the ship with all the doors closed, if you took your hammer.
Yeah, you did. Oh wow, check it out. So there we go then, lads. First podcast, and then we did it. We made it.
Yeah, we landed. We need a flag. We need a flag.
We need it. We
no weapon that work. Yeah, we should.
Unfortunately, we didn't load up a Nox or anything, so we didn't manage to.
Miz tried.
Did he? Miz did try to bring the dragonfly. That's true.
Getting 20 frames on the surface.
I crashed it.
And it's crashed.
What?
Oh no, it's not crashed. It's not crashed. No, it's crashed.
Work.
Yeah, yours has crashed.
Mine's crashed.
Around though. He's now party leader.
Crashed. Right then. Well, we did it. We did it. We've managed to get 3.0 live. We managed to get it to land. So
you absolutely.
You came running at me with a pistol. I'm going to shoot you, dude.
Right. I'm submitting my crash report, and then we can.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. Wasn't it?
God. That was good.
Thank you for the sort of potential. Oh my god, someone else is in my bed. Get the fuck
That's
out of my
me.
bed.
Why are you in? Why are you still on my bed?
Thank you for the Cutlass Black.
Mac and I have become one.
This is now mine.
Same bed. Why you just stood up though?
Love it, right.
Get off me.
Whilst in my bedroom, get out!
I'm gonna let you guys do that whilst I quickly try.
I think they're gonna ask. People are gonna start talking when they see us come out the same easy.
Oh my god, you can order Big Benny's. I'm joking, you can't.
I want to see how bad everyone's. Are we all blurred? No, we're all good. There we go. Beautiful. Excellent. Right then, guys. Now we can start the proper show. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of that. We were just showing off. Eventually, hopefully, with FOIP and all that sort of stuff, we'll be able to do some more fun and crazy things, which will be quite good. And we'll also get Mac. Actually, we'll have we'll have a full 3D face in the game.
It's gonna be so.
This is pretty cool. So
podcast through his character, I think we'll soon.
Yeah, I think if we tried to continue and try to push that anymore, I don't think we would have any luck. So I think that's probably the best place to leave it, boys, this evening. But that was pretty successful.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little bit too buggy, but I think when this gets a little less buggy, we can definitely try and do this again. It would be quite cool.
Yeah,
I think it's quite nice to be able to sort of show off different things that obviously are available. Those that can't get into the servers at the moment can see that obviously we're struggling and having a few issues with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is buggy. There's no question about it. But they keep bringing out patches with the Delta patch now, which I think is probably the best thing that ever could happen right now for Star Citizen, especially judging by, at the end of the day, the scale of this game now in terms of what they're trying to achieve needs the Delta patches so badly. They couldn't imagine. Could you imagine them trying to fix this the old way without the Delta patch?
Oh yeah, every time we want to update it, it takes another 30 gig download.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of why we've been waiting that long for this. And it's just because the tweaks they need now need to be smaller tweaks, and they need to be able to keep pushing it out. It's just not cost effective for them to release a build that's, say, this buggy, and then have to patch it 2 days later with a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what it is. When it's that buggy, that's why they hold it. Normally they hold it so that it's a lot more bug free before they release it to us lot. I mean, I'm a bit skeptical. I still think that this was released to PTU Wave 1 just so they could get it out before the sales start, so they can increase the price of the ships that they were going to increase.
Yeah, I agree. It's an encouragement to get people to buy stuff, is being able to play 3.0, because it's like the lack of 3.0 is what was causing the skepticism in the community.
And people like refunding.
Yeah, exactly. So if they get 3.0 out, prove that it's coming and it's it's real, more people will then want to buy into it, which is clever, and I'm just happy to get fucking 3.0, to be honest.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, at the end of the day, I think even in its current state, you can still we're still getting chunks of gameplay still. You know what I mean? I'm still even though there's chunks of not gameplay and frustration, there is still, you get half an hour. I think it's the most I've managed of just gorgeousness, really, when you get away from everyone.
It is amazingly special when it does work. You can see the potential of not just 3.0, but the rest of the game as a whole once it's around that time.
Yes. No, absolutely. You really can. So I'm going to restart us slightly on the Hawk, guys, again. Sorry, just because I know that we talked about it, but I just wanted to kind of re-go over some of the stuff to the ship, because I've got some images for us to talk about.
Some things to show. So
we've got some videos, and we can at least go back over it again. And I was slightly distracted with playing 3.0, so which is quite fun. So I'm just going to bring up the videos now. So we have it here. Let's just push.
We learned that one of the things I think from what we just did then would be really cool, and I can't wait for eventually, is the mechanic of like the news vans, like the Reliant and stuff. Because being able to be in game and doing this, and eventually, like when it's all live and everything, you'll be able to do like the podcast from like a news van or something, and you'll be able to broadcast it to other pubs and things all around the universe.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's it. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they do, because they said you'll be able to record and edit the videos and then submit that and make it live or whatnot. It'll be very interesting to see how they introduce that, but you'll need a good pilot to be able to follow people. I think it'll be me.
Yeah.
Judging by my dragonfly skills flying, I think it's me. I think I've got the job. I think I proved it there.
We want to have a word with you about that.
Do you know,
you got the ambition. You got the ambition, definitely.
The thing is it's almost, the game in times is almost unflyable, even because there's so much lag at times as well, and then suddenly the game seems to catch up again, and suddenly you've gone, you think you're slowing down, then you're not, then you're back up 1,000 miles an hour. It's incredibly twitchy as well. I mean, with my mouse, I'm like, with the, I think I was in the Aurora and trying to land, and the frames jump in, and then it's going forward, and then I'm trying to, you know, it's just too much. The computer then tries to catch up with all this information suddenly, and it just slams you straight into the wall or slams you into the deck, and it's like, oh my god, you know. So there's tons. There's tons more. Yeah. Of course, got to get that excuses in, but you know.
I mean, my excuse was that I think the game doesn't know what to do with the Dragonfly. It keeps pulling it down to the landing pad, even though you're not. Like the other ships don't do that; they hover. But because the Dragonfly is made to sort of hover onto the ground, like when you're on a planet side, it does the same to the landing pads, and it instead of hovering, it slams itself down. It constantly just keeps slamming the floor, and it's like
there's
trying to find the planet.
There's another funny bug with the Dragonfly. When you sit on it, it flips upside down and then just goes up.
And then it kind of
kilometers into the sky.
But then sometimes it does a dramatic kind of bang.
Yeah.
I mean, the bugs are actually, with it being, you know, the test universe, and we know it's the test universe. We know it's there containing bugs, and it's a voluntary thing you sign up to. But it's the way I see the bugs is I laugh at them mainly.
Yeah.
Especially when you use your Moby glass and then you come back and you've got no clothing and no head. It's just you can't write that shit, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes the bugs are the funniest thing, but that's what I've been trying to say to like Madness is getting a little bit salty earlier today on Toby stream, and it's like
salty.
It's like, you know, all these bugs. And you think he cried on the day that it went out to Wave 1 and he wasn't invited. He's like, it's not fair. This is bullshit. And then he gets it and he goes, this is buggy as fuck. This is bullshit. And then he's like slapping his keyboard. It's like, you know, if you want to get on the test, like people, and there's all over Facebook and everything, people going, oh, it's laggy, all the frames are shit, blah, blah, blah. It's like you've just downloaded the test server. Like,
that's the 10% of me.
Been begging to get onto this server, and then you get on it, and then you moan about it. You feel like saying, right, if you moan about it, fuck off.
It's right though, because it's right there, because aren't they running? Because they're still running 2.6.3 as well, aren't they? So wouldn't that cause problems as well with this service?
I can't imagine it would do. I don't know how they have it or what servers they have it running on, but I don't think if it was going to be such a problem, I don't think they would keep it going.
He missed out, Dats. He missed. He's late. He just missed. We landed on planet. We did a live land with all four of us. Never mind. Next time.
It's like the moon landing revisited.
You just missed
I can't see you. Can you? Are you here? No, I've fallen out of the ship.
I've just been crushed by Mrs. Dragonfly, just like the moon landing.
Do you imagine the actual moon landing doing that, and they're coming down the touchdown? Oh no, I've fallen out. It's alright, you're coming down, it's fine.
I'll catch you on the way down.
Oh shit, someone brought the flag. You're going to plant it down.
Oh god, that would be funny. So anyway, I'm going to bring you guys onto the Hawk again. So let's bring up the Hawk again. Let's bring it up again, just because I want to talk about
raided by Toby.
Yo, Toby. What's up, guys? Welcome.
Toby love.
Toby guys?
Toby Glaze.
Toby.
So the Hawk.
Toby Glaze. Nice on toast.
So the first thing is I noticed from this picture here, I was kind of, does anyone tell me what's actually happening in this picture right now?
It's chasing something.
There's there's a little dude here kind of on his own going...
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Is he supposed to be going and capturing and picking up this random person just floating?
And he's kind of got... Is that a tractor beam or is that a laser that he's using?
That's a laser. I don't think that's the gun on the front, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was one of the things I was going to say actually about this, is because on the specs or on the video he turned around and said it's going to have weapons and non-lethal weapons. Now we know it's got the EMP or the disruptor or whatever you want to call it, but do you think it's going to have guns that are non-lethal, like a tractor beam or?
That's what I was thinking.
Like maybe they'll have a tickle gun.
A tickle gun.
I think they will. They will end up having a weapon that is a non-lethal weapon. Like a stun gun or something along those lines. They will end up having that. I don't know about on a ship. I would have thought they would do.
It kind of makes sense if you guys like that. If you've got a bloke flying or floating, you want to lock them in rather than let them try and escape.
Yeah.
And bring them closer to the ship if you could tractor them in a bit, because otherwise trying to get that bloke
firing anchors
from there back to your ship, it's not going to be that easy. Like,
So for anyone that's just come from Toby's stream, you guys unfortunately just missed we were just saying earlier, we missed the 4-man squad live podcast landing. Go watch the video back again. You'll be able to watch it live.
It went smooth.
It was smooth. We managed it. I couldn't believe it. We all 4 of us got into an instance and landed on planet. Then it crashed. So, but yeah, no, I am curious about that as well, because it's got 6 weapons at the moment, plus light armor and EMP, so it will be interesting. It does look like a bird, don't you think? Though when I saw it, I was like, it really does look like a bird.
And I do think it looks. I really like the look of it.
The way it folds up is beautiful.
I'm not sure it's a ship I would have or anything, but I do really like the look of it.
I do struggle a bit with the Anvil kind of styling, but I can see that they've kind of gone, if we chuck this circular disc on top, it's Anvil.
It's the first Anvil I've bought.
I don't know. I feel like they do look they do fit a theme, because you don't want every ship looking the same. You want it to look, like I said, you want to look at it and think that's Anvil, but you don't want to look at it and think, oh, that looks exactly the same as the. Well,
that's what they've kind of done, isn't it? They've like, if you heard them talking about the disc on the top is one of the things that is very Anvil.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other things. There's like 3 aspects, that they take that will always remind you of Anvil, but it can't always look identical, can it? It needs to have that identification of itself or its own unique look.
It said discs. The disc on top, large intakes. It's not necessarily just 2; it's large intakes. Because I think when you look at the Terrapin, it's the same. It's got a nice the big round disc on the top. And I think I can't remember where I saw it. I think the intakes are hidden by the armor, aren't they? And but you can open up and vent and stuff. So
which is again plays into the whole the stuff.
But I think again, angles and shapes as well. It's all that sort of thing that plays into it.
It feels like I said earlier, it feels like the newer version of where Anvil's kind of going to head towards for future designing and styling, and it feels like it could be like that type of thing. So
bringing it into the now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes,
exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
When I first heard some of the key points of this, it just reminded me of it just sounded like the Anvil version of the Raven. The Saber Raven.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, it could be, but it looks similar, but it's a bounty ship, isn't it? So it can't be exactly the same, because the Saber.
No. Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah. You just think.
Yeah, but I mean, like the EMP, the light. It's a light fighter.
I think of the distortion thing, and it's like, well, it's the same.
It's a bird.
I know what you mean. It disables ships, which the other one can as well, but
just this one's got like a few more weapons, and it's got the pot on the back.
I think with this though, and like this is kind of harks back to what Madness was saying. He thinks the other one's better because it's got more versatility. But I think what they tried to do, or what they were trying to go away from, more likely, is having one ship that does all. And this is probably one of the few that is very specific. It's a bounty hunter ship, and that's it. So you're comparing it to the Titan, and I think Des just said it in chat. You're sticking with this Titan because it's got more versatility, which makes sense. But if you just purely want to go out and get one target for bounty hunting, then it may be that this ship is better because it might have more tools to do that with the EMP or the distortion thing. Plus, if it does get different weapons to equip on it that aren't lethal, and then you've got the viewing angle. I mean, the fact that they got the viewing plate underneath as well means that it's kind of, and it's quite small, that it kind of works a bit like a dragonfly in atmosphere. You're going to be able to chase people down over planet side with it. So instead of getting on a dragonfly to travel around, I think this sounds like it would be a nice small ship to actually get around planet side as well.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like I said, like I was saying, I think this would. I hope they put this with the Carrack on as the ship that goes with the Carrack, rather than well, they've got the placeholder Merlin at the moment. I think that would be a lovely little ship to have on board the Carrack, considering the Carrack's getting bigger as well. So
it's the same size as the Polaris now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good size. It's going to be
a capital ship now,
well,
isn't it?
That's what they said, didn't they? They said it's a capital ship, but we were discussing on Toby's, and I'm kind of like, I'm surprised that they would make the exploration for Anvil, who are so synonymous with kind of military war, be their capital ship, be an exploration ship. I would have thought they would have had more of a battleship. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I would have thought they would have had a battleship would have been more their natural first choice, but.
Isn't capital ship just referring to the kind of size?
Size, yeah.
Doesn't mean it's their only ship. That's that's what I think. It's like a sizing guide. So
I appreciate
it. Yeah.
But I'm just surprised that their first large ship is just an exploration ship. But maybe that harks.
Well, it used to be a military ship, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess it harks back to the lore. I guess so.
Yeah, it used to be a proper
exploration military
ship.
It's not just
an exploration ship, though, is it? Probably that's the thing.
It used to be an ex-military ship, and then it got commissioned to become a civilian exploration defense ship.
Yeah, so it's pretty. It's got a lot of guns. I do know that it's pretty powerful. I think I was talking to somebody else in my channel, and we were saying if we put 2 Carracks butt to butt, we can go and wreck everyone, type of thing. So we just kind of connect with all the guns that it has.
What are your butt?
Butt to
the
butt.
thing about the Carrack is it's got those
belly to belly.
3
belly to
belly modular sets, hasn't it? Where you can have, and again, like the Caterpillar, they're going to create cargo first. So you're going to see a Carrack that is used for cargo hauling, maybe before we even have the exploration mechanics in. Because exploration doesn't just mean going off into the midst of space and seeing no one. It could be exploring planets, looking for minerals and things like that. It could be looking for wrecks. It could be looking for jump points, anomalies in space, and all sorts of stuff. They're going to have scanners for lots of different things, so you can choose what kind of explorer you want to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know when exploring is going to be.
Well, this is
when we get another system.
This is the kind of the fun thing. I was thinking at the moment with 3.0, the way it is, and the kind of like flying around and cruising and seeing things. These kind of exploration ships and stuff, they just seem to fit. Like the 600i, I hate to say it, would be such a cool ship to just fly around right now and just be lounging on the deck, like just chilling with your mates. Do you know what I mean? Like that would be so cool.
But 3.0 has more than enough exploration in it. You know, you don't have to wait for anything else to come out. There's more than enough to do and look for in 3.0.
Yeah, we just need it to last a little bit longer before it crashes, so we can really enjoy it. But once that happens,
like me and a few from Addicted, we tried yesterday our hardest to try and explore daymar, and every single time we got there, we tried 10 times and we crashed the moment we got there.
Yeah,
it's just not good.
And at the moment, until we can actually log off in our beds. And we can't really explore anyway because you're constantly starting back at Port Olisar, aren't you?
Yeah, and even if I've noticed, even if I got a criminal rating, I go back to Port Olisar.
I logged back in and it wiped my criminal rating, and I was back in Port Olisar. I was like, just want to wake up in Grimex because I was going to buy the Outlaw stuff. Got all the way to the shop, went to buy it, and then it crashed. And it's like, no, not again.
You bastard.
Do you know what I was thinking when I saw this picture, which we see on my stream now? Which is, firstly, obviously, it was the Hawk. Unless it's
the Hurricane.
If it's a supremely awesome pilot, it's not going to happen. But I don't know if anyone noticed, but did you notice the massive hurricane behind it? Yeah, is that what you're saying? The massive hurricane. Can you? I cannot wait until we can see like weather systems from space.
Yeah.
Can you imagine flying down in the middle of that? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It's like at the moment in 3.0, the weather. Although there's no weather in here, you do have the ambient background thunder sound. You have wind swirling around in your ears, and it sounds awesome. And that's just your basic atmosphere weather sort of sounds.
Yeah.
When they start bringing in wind, rain,
I can't wait for rain,
thunder and lightning, and all these different like sandstorms and different kind of storms. This game is just going to feel insane when all you're trying to do is load up a constellation with boxes and you're having to shelter from the rain and the storm and whatnot. It's going to be incredible.
We can see what you're looking at, by the way, Madness.
What's that?
We can all see what you're looking at.
Can you? Sorry.
Yes.
I was just adjusting bio sound.
Oh, great. Am I too loud?
You were a bit loud.
Yeah, it's because I've changed where my microphone is. It's now on my desk. It's on the mechanical arm.
You're a bit loud. The Blade Runner thing as well on the Hawk. I thought I really liked the styling on the Blade Runner thing with the post.
Really, and the buildings and that are acting looking a little bit more Blade Runner-esque, and they look. I mean, we saw a little hint towards that in the Citizen Con demo.
Yeah,
they look even more. I'm loving those concepts of cities like that.
Yeah, no,
and that long duster that the bounty hunter was wearing.
Yes, give me some of that.
Yes, Right, next ship.
One of those a perk from backing early as well.
Yeah, duster. Some sort of like coat duster thing. Can't remember what they call it now.
Every time I say dust, I'm just thinking this yellow cloth.
Oh, thank you.
I like the way the duster drapes over your shoulder, sir.
Okay,
so the next ship.
I'm going to put this on for video. I just need to go help my missus for a second. I'll be back. 2 seconds whilst I let this cycle.
I love
the turrets.
It for a second. Oh, it's Iron Man. I didn't see that bit before.
Iron Man.
What's that?
On the video, he's like flying along as if with his consoles on his mobile.
Have you not seen that? That's that reminds me of Dead Space like a cutscene in Dead Space.
Yes.
I've not played those games. I need to.
Oh, you do. They are awesome. But I love.
They're like £3 at the moment for the first two.
Just pick them up. Pick them all up. You'll love them all.
I think I will. I'll probably make some videos on them.
I wouldn't bother. So those turrets have all got 180's viewing angle as well, haven't they?
Yeah, which is insane. And what I like about them as well is that you have a little airlock to go into them, so that
you can cut them off.
They're separate from the ship. Yeah, so it's not like you just
the
walk
pilot
in.
Can just eject one. You're saying it. Sorry, mate.
See you later.
Oh, wouldn't it be cool? They detached like little balls.
Yeah, like little ships. I was just gonna say that. That would be like little.
Do you reckon they will fly off? Do you reckon you could?
No, but that would be.
No, I doubt it. But I hope they can make that happen.
Awesome, no, just
like they're the drones as well. Like they haven't said that they're drones.
Well, like little machine gun drones where they just all detach and go shooting around.
They're cannons, aren't they? They're cannons on those things.
So
size 6 cannons.
I don't know about you guys.
Size 4 cannons.
For me, the Hammerhead right now, it shows obviously that they're very confident that they fixed the turrets, or that they're going to make the turrets good, because at the moment we all know how crap the turrets are. And that ship is all turrets. That ship is all turrets, and they suck. So at the moment,
I expected when you see the pictures of it, when you see like that film and everything of it, it looks a bit smaller than I expected.
That's the Polaris.
How dare it be bigger than the Polaris? How dare it?
It just means that the Idris and the Javelin are fucking huge.
Oh no, that's the Idris, isn't it? And
that's probably more like it. It's just the fucking thing's huge.
And that's a Retaliator. So, and then there's a look at the scale of that. Wow. Okay. Wow. I mean, I like it. I like it. It wasn't the Polaris, it was a Javelin.
I like the look of that. It's
I do as well. I like the simplicity. I know Gamble on the table was saying he didn't like the hole in the middle, and I can see his point. But for me, I like the fact it's very functional. It's just straight corridors, straight down, left and right to the, get to your turret quick as you can.
I mean, the middle section looks like a bit of wasted space, and it may be something you could...
I said it would be good if they had like a lift there to store 2 ground vehicles, but then like Nuke said, it would change the type of vehicle it is, and it's this is where gameplay comes in over realism. You need to be able. It can't be like the best, because he said like the Javelin, it's too easy to defend. They can't have that. They can't have a winner. So you can't have like a massive gunship with a load of troops deployment thing, because it would just be the ship everyone uses, because it just does everything.
Yeah.
It's about the balance.
Did you guys buy one?
Yes, I bought 3.
No. No,
what am I gonna do with that?
I don't need it. It's not the type. I'm no.
How many times did you say that to yourself in the mirror?
A lot.
You don't need it. You don't need it, boy.
All right. What was interesting is
some people in my Discord and exactly the same. Before the sale started, they said, I've got my fleet. I'm not buying anything else. I don't need anything else. And they saw the silhouettes. Nah, doesn't interest me. Doesn't look right. Thing comes on sale. Hawk bought it. Hammerhead comes on sale. They bought it. And I'm just waiting for them to buy the trio tomorrow when the consolidated Outland comes out. Like, you're gonna.
I think if you've got a good size org, and you're all about this type of military type of thing, or I think if you've got a Pioneer, for example, and you've got enough people, this would make a sensible choice as a protecting vehicle to sit, literally next to your Pioneer on the ground or in the air to check, to protect you. I think it would be a very good ship for that.
You don't need to actually buy the ships if you're in an org, because someone in the org is likely to a good scale org. You're bound to find someone who has one who won't mind you looking around it when it's flyable. Most of the time, depends on who you are. I guess if you're like miserable and just crash everything and blow everything up, you might think twice.
Like imagine that. Hey, here's the keys to the Javelin. Can you just take it over here?
To be fair to Miz, it's so buggy. It is. I'm going to give Miz the benefit of that. You saw me crash the Cutlass, and I've flown a lot. So
no, it is. It's
difficult.
That's why
so you actually mean that madness when I get to fly one of your ships, and he's like, in a minute.
Yeah, I'd be like, don't touch anything.
Madness in 3.0, you're not the champ anymore.
In 3.0, Not at the moment. Not at the moment. No, that's for sure. There's no champs. There's no fighting anyone other than in the Arena Commander. So I haven't done anything. I'm really really busy with work, so I've managed only like a couple, maybe an hour, 2 hours of actual gameplay. So I've got lots to enjoy. I'm still figuring out lots of the mechanics, the missions. I like to take my time. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to rush it and do everything.
The other thing I thought was nice in that video is on the
cool, isn't it?
Moby Glass, it actually shows you the full ship.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, we haven't got that in our Moby Glass, but
no,
you're going to show things like damage and stuff on there as well, like a way to repair. When you're repairing the ship, are you going to start seeing damage states on your Moby Glass? Would be quite
like show up.
Yeah,
but they show you a bit of a weak spot there because he does sit in front of the turret, and then guns can't aim inwards to get him, so he's just like, waves at the turret gunner and says, "Screw you."
I'm curious how strong that neck is as well. You know what I mean? You know, in terms of from the head to the neck. You know, that long neck section at the front.
I still think they missed making it a ramming ship. They should have just put a big shield thing on the front so it could just ram.
It kind of reminds me of the kind of like the old pirate, like, you know, the old warships. Kind of like you would go up beside them and like board them and like fire all cannons at them, like go up beside them. That's what it kind of reminds me of. I don't know why. But it does, I see what you mean, Magnus. It does seem quite weak. The way the damage states will eventually be that you can shoot certain parts of the ship off and not actually blow it up.
Yeah, so I was just thinking if you could cut the head off effectively, you know, then you've got the rest of the body. If the way I would look at that ship,
maybe that's the weakness put it in because it's so strong. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe we'll find out where its weakness is, I guess. That's all to discover. So, but I was pleased. It was a nice surprise. It was a really nice surprise, actually. I was quite.
I think a lot of people wanted it because it was like when they heard about the Polaris being released, this is what they wanted from the Polaris. And everyone I know has said that when they originally looked at the concept of the Polaris, they thought it would be this, but it wasn't. Right. So they were disappointed. And now this has come out. It's practically filled a hole that was there in the ship lineup. I mean, I don't really care for it because I'm not planning to do a lot of combat, so it's not really of interest to me.
Yeah.
But I do like it, and I like all the ships. I want to be on board. I want to have a look around. I want to fight on one. I want to be a part of the crew on one. But I'm not all too fussed.
Yeah. I mean, in chat, someone mentions the same thing. Is with the long wait times, fighting is completely. I don't want to fight anyone. I don't wait an hour for my spaceship. Do you know what I mean? Or 40 minutes. I don't want to fight anyone for that. I don't want to risk losing my spaceship.
It's an hour and a half wait.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half wait time. I really don't want to engage.
So that's just claiming it from a bug station.
You could have all these amazing, massive spaceships chasing people around, going, "Please fight with me, please fight with me. I want someone to fight." You know what I mean? It's like everyone would just be like, "Bye," gone. You know, so
speed is going to be the key.
The sooner they get
out of there.
Yeah, exactly. The sooner they get the ability to shut people down and stop people and cause enough damage and stop people from jumping, then it will get very interesting. That's when I'll get very, very interesting combat.
Can't wait for piracy to actually come in properly.
Yeah, exactly. So here's it's an interesting picture that someone posted, which I thought was really interesting as well. On I don't know if you can see it really clearly, but I'm going to zoom in a bit. Somebody posted there's a picture of it on the landing bay being loaded up. And they were saying that what they really wanted was one of these vehicles, which is a forklift truck. And I was kind of like, yeah. And I was like, hell yeah, I want a forklift truck. That would be quite a sweet little job. Be like,
there's forklifts at Levski, isn't there? Have you seen them?
Yes.
I actually went over. Did you all go over to them and see if you could get in?
No, I haven't. No. I haven't been to Levski yet. No.
I walked past the same one about 5 times trying to figure out how to get into Levski on my first arrival. I was like, I landed somewhere randomly. I didn't know. I was like, where's the land? Where am I supposed to land? I don't know where the guy.
Yeah, same. First time I went to Levski, it was pitch black. I was on the dying night cycle. It was pitch black. Couldn't see a thing. Didn't know where I was, and I came down. I even forgot to request landing, so I just put the landing thing down. It wasn't giving me a pad or anything, so I just rammed it somewhere in. I think it was like where the rovers come out or something. I just don't know. I just landed the thing. Well, fuck it, park it there. I mean, that's what I'm going to do when it goes live. Like, who needs a proper landing spot when you can just park it in the middle of the operation zone?
Just troll people.
Just got out and said, "No, well, fuck it, that'll do." Do you know when like you park really badly in the supermarket and he's crossing the line? You get out and go, "Fuck it, that'll do." It was kind of like that.
Yeah. So that's the Hammerhead, boys.
It's beautiful,
and that's it. Just to show you again another view. So we've got the Pioneer, the Reclaimer, which I know Mac is super excited about.
What's that?
The Reclaimer.
Oh yes.
So you can show you a bit more of the scale of them at an angle. It's not the greatest picture, but it just shows you. So we've got the Connie at the very far end, the Tally, the Retaliator, the 600.
The Polaris is bigger than it. Yeah.
The 600i. Then we have the Hammerhead. Then you have the Polaris. Then you've got the Carrack. So it shows you the size of the Carrack, and then it shows you the Reclaimer, and then we have the Pioneer. So, that's. I mean, those are cool, very fucking cool looking ships, if you ask me.
Mm.
Some of the best looking. This is the best looking spaceships I've ever seen.
That would be a nice hangar, wouldn't it?
It would be a nice hangar. I'm not sure you would
lineup. Enter now.
Yeah, I've got all those.
Raffle in chat.
You've got all those, yeah. Have you?
For all of them.
Legit.
Well, I've got the basically I've got the Polaris.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the Carrack sorted out with someone, and I've got the Hammerhead sorted out with someone. So you know.
Sorted out with someone. Sorted out with someone. I have.
Yeah.
I would never.
We've got one of them sorted out with someone.
Oh, well, no,
I've got one. I've got one. I've got the Carrack. I've got the Carrack. That's
but
my one.
The way you can do things with, like, not many people realize, is you buy the ship and then you sell it for credits, and then you buy another one with the credits. And then what you can do with the other one is, if you know that somebody who wants one, you can sell it to them. So you've got two technically for the price of one.
Who's got all in chat? Who's got all? Has anyone here got all?
All of them.
All of them. And you're not sharing. I mean, you own.
Share your details and your login.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And am I going to be allowed to be given a lift one time?
Can you join my org?
Yes. Can you join my org? No. Who else? I've got 3.
I can tell you there's
3. Someone's got 3.
There's 2 people in Addicted
5
those,
with the buyback in the hangar. Yeah, that doesn't quite count. It's cheeky, but I haven't quite got it. Anyone else? 0. I have the Aquila, the smallest of the bunch. That's Westbrook. The Aquila, I think, is a fabulous little ship. I have one at the moment.
I tell you one who's got them all is Clifford.
I upgraded it. No Idris.
To watch us, and you'll be able to have someone that's got them all.
No Idris. But I don't own them all. I have a CCU to all of those ships. Okay. Yeah, I've got a CCU to the Carrack. That's all I've got.
In that case, so do I, because Daku's in my org.
Aquila, Carrack, and the Reclaimer. Nice, Hayan. Nice. That's awesome, dude. Very, very cool. Aquila, Carrack, and the Reclaimer. Hayu. I got the Carrack, Sunshark. High 5. Carrack, bro.
Won the Carrack 2 years ago. Wow.
I won a Carrack 2 years ago. Whoa. Wow.
That's when people were generous.
Wow.
It was only worth 50 quid back then.
I won the Aquila
for redevelopment, and it's like come back as a capital ship.
Yeah, I won the Aquila. That was my bad boy. So, but I've upgraded that a little bit. I think it was the right decision to buy to upgrade. I think to go up to the next.
But wasn't it like a special named?
Yeah, it was. Aquila. It is, and it'll always will be, because every time you upgrade, it doesn't change the name of the package. It'll still say Aquila, and then it just says underneath. Yeah. It'll say underneath it. It'll just say in the package is now a Carrack, rather than. So
because you take over the items that you had with the original ship, don't you? Mm-hmm. Like the insurance and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, no, it's I won't lose that, thank God, which is a good thing. So it'll always still.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, everyone's nice one. Yeah, it's very. It's interesting to see what people have gone for, what type of ships they've gone for. I mean, there's a few people in here I think who've got the Pioneer. Most people tend to have gone for the Reclaimer, the Carrack. A couple people on the Polaris. And who's bought Hammerhead?
Like it's almost pointless asking people, because every time a new cell comes out, everybody seems to go crazy and like get this weird glaze in their eyes, and everything melts. And then they buy the new shiny thing. It's like the amount of people that have melted the Pioneer, and it's only been out like a month now. No one's flown it, no one's used it, and it's all right. Melt. I'm buying the next thing that comes along.
But this is. I would. Here's the interesting thing: is could you imagine the panic that CIG would do if they said, "Right, guys, in 3 months' time, we're going to be ending all of the buyback options, so you're going to have to stick or twist.
Fuck! It's like
a bit uproar.
That would be.
But they'll have to do it at some point. They're going to have to say, right, you guys are going to have to stick or twist at some point on your ships. Will they? When do you think they'll do it? They're going to stick or twist.
Not until they're happy with.
Beta?
I don't think they'll do that until they are saying that this is the final iteration of that ship, barring like minor tweaks and stuff.
They would give it a lot of warning beforehand.
They would make sure that everyone's been able to buy and stuff back, though.
Yeah, I think if you are doing that game. I think you've got to be smart enough to, be smart to make sure you have, be sensible, make sure you have your money and ready to go, and you've bought them. Like I know a few people, they do it, so they buy them now in the anniversary sale, they do all the tokens, and then they buy the ships throughout the year, so they save money and then buy them, upgrade the CCUs through the year, which is quite a smart decision in my opinion. If I thought about it that way, it would be good. I almost feel like CRG could save themselves a real hassle by just enabling people to buy them through the year themselves as well. So maybe if they did like a pay monthly fee type thing, so you could buy these big ships and then pay them a monthly fee, so you pay 10 quid, like a kind of interest, without the interest though, you just buy the ships and you pay them a sub fee.
But I would see more problems with that than benefits, because it's like, what if you fault on a payment and it's like you have all these issues coming in. The best
the value
thing to look forward to,
they just give you the credit. They'd give you the credit that you have, and then you cancel, then you have to re-sign up again. So if you default X number of payments, then they just cancel the thing, and then the money that you've given them, they would just credit your account.
It wouldn't go down.
You're basically saying is you want credit cards. No way. You start introducing that. No fucking way. People can't. If people are spending shit money that they haven't got at the moment, what you're encouraging is fucking a loan shark type scheme. That's not
loan shark, because there's no interest
today.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you've got to pay an interest.
Encouraging people to, if you can't afford to buy that ship, you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be there even trying to invest
don't feed people's addictions.
A month to do it. No,
but people still do that. Crazy. What I'm saying is people are doing that anyway, and then doing the buyback CCU. So couldn't they set up a system
the more accessible to make it, the more people do it? No, I think that's crazy.
Just don't do it. I think once it comes into being able to rent ships and buy ships,
credit card
without 75% APR.
But yeah, without using actual cash, you could just use, renting them and using Alpha United Earth credits. That would be better. I mean, they could have financing of ships using UEC. Even that would be a bit too far, but it's a possibility if they've got insurance and shit like that. But doing it with real cash would probably have too many dilemmas to it. I don't know. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it'd be awesome when the ships actually
put them in loot boxes. Let's put the ships in loot boxes.
Right. Okay. So I'm just going to bring us back to the 4-man screen whilst I load up the next set of interesting topical conversation for us to talk about.
But the Reclaimer is the one I'm most looking forward to. That looks
the Reclaimer. The Reclaimer.
On the ATVs, I was just like, I literally jumped out of the bath to watch that. I was so excited.
Just dripping everywhere.
Was there anything new in terms of the pictures? Because I only saw it looked like all the same kind of stuff I'd seen before. Really, I was a bit.
We saw a bit more of the drone room and habitation. Like the toilets looked like a typical cubicle at school. And the table in the habitation, the dining table, was very like this. They mentioned how Nostromo-like it was, like Alien-esque, where you all sit around together, and it's. I just look forward. I love the idea of salvaging a ship, and then somehow a life form gets on board, and you're like, oh fuck, having to fire it off.
Get rid of it.
It's going to be exciting. Yeah, not that I want anything on my ship like that, obviously, but. If it happened, I would enjoy it. Yay!
I do like the Reclaimer. I mean, I have looked at it and thought, do you know what? That would be quite a fun ship. But then a part of me kind of thinks, I hope they just give us a middle of the road, smaller version of the Reclaimer. You know what I mean? Like a small mini Reclaimer, and that would be do the job.
Friday would.
I hope
to be honest, I think,
what do you reckon?
I do think there's a few ships like that though that you could do with like a slightly miniature, like an in-between version of them.
There will be for most mechanics. I expect with salvage mining, all these sort of things, you'll have a large, which we tend to have already, a small, which we've seen with the Prospector, and then like a mid-sized one. But I really just think Drake is perfect for a small to mid-sized salvager ship with crappy looking claws, and it's all hot and sweaty in there on the processing room and whatnot. That would just be.
He wants to hire people.
I do, and I would just wear like some shorts and a hard hat and nothing else.
Oh,
like working in a coal mine.
Full on Zoolander style.
Reminds me.
And you'll be telling your staff, why are you wearing a t-shirt? No t-shirts allowed.
Wow.
Hey, sexy boy, take that t-shirt off.
You look real pretty today, boy. Get in there, boy.
You're not allowed to have a beard.
Wow. He's really bad.
I need a little more hairy than all of us.
Terrible. Oh, I need to practice more.
I do apologise to the Texans in the chat.
Yes, we do apologise for our
I have no control over these.
Horrendous impressions. So, actually, do you know what I found interesting? And I'm just going to bring it up real quick, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it, is the Cyclone.
Oh, yes, I can't wait for those.
Oh, that looked
good. Now, we saw this movie. Now, I've been a very big critical of the Cyclone in terms of the styling of the Cyclone.
Don't you be critical.
However, when I saw it in actual flight, as it were, because it was flying a lot when it was jumping, it does look like it could be an incredibly good. Having seen the rover and how poor the rover was, I don't know why. Why have I even clipped that guy talk? Oh yeah, that's why. It shows you how good it was at gripping into everything and moving around, and it had it's got both. It steers, the back wheel steer as well as the front wheel steer, so it's got 4-wheel drive and it looks fast. And I was like, I really hope that they fix the rover, because at the moment the Cyclone looks like the better choice right now, in my opinion.
The only weird thing with the Cyclone is it looks a lot flatter from the side. It looks really cool. From the back, it kind of looks like it's a bit too flat.
It does.
That one's the base. That's the base, though, isn't it? That's the cargo.
Yeah,
one.
I mean, if you had the turret thing in the back, it might look a bit better. But
I agree with you.
Having that with a turret gunner in the back would be pretty Mad Max style. I can see that now. When it's ramping up everything, that's going to be so much fun.
I'm hoping that when they come in, that each individual one, they set up the features for them. So I've got 3 of them. So I've got the turret gunner, cargo, and I've got the recon, the one where you can plant the beacons down.
Yeah, scanning one thing. That's
what I'm hoping, that when they bring these out, that will be in the game, because that's the point of it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, it looks like it's going to be dropping with the next update, to be honest.
You saw that bio, I just
Gundog.
I do think it's looking... they didn't... Do you know, like the other ones, they
trolls me everywhere.
Like how close they are on the pipeline, they didn't actually sound the Cyclone, did they?
Yeah, they said it's in fact sort of tech setup. It's almost finished.
It's true.
But it's video. I mean, don't forget, the way it bounces around is still not final yet.
Well, that's the atmosphere, though. That's to do with the it's got less atmosphere, so it's doing that.
They did say that they want to, fine tune it and tweak it to make it handle better.
I'm. I was looking at it going, well, if the rover is as buggy as I've seen it to be, I mean, I was trying to get in it. It's so buggy. Getting into the seats at the front isn't very good.
With the rover at the moment, you stay too close to the landing pads and you haven't moved off quick enough.
Yeah.
You end up glitching to the point where you're on the floor doing this.
Yeah. I kind of look at the rover.
Like little Yoda.
On Toby's stream, that's happened a lot. There's always someone squatting in front of the rovers.
I'm thinking the rover's kind of like the I feel like it's the one that has to do all the crap heavy lifting for everybody else to have a really good game land-based vehicle experience.
The dragonflies and the cyclones, and then some poor bastard's got the rover because he's got to take the cargo and the guns. It's like,
he's the hauler.
You're in the tank. We
pull the fun thing. You pull the short straw.
Exactly.
Can you imagine though having someone with the machine gun cyclone and firing at people on the ground trying to run it?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Gatling gun on the back of that?
Yeah. I'm telling you, if they introduce a couple more ships and different things, you can have one with you standing with the railgun on the back, getting ready to kind of fire railgun rounds, and the explosions in front of you trying to hit
grenade
somebody
launchers.
else. You've got your not the terrible. I'm sorry, Jay Lee, but however they've executed the tissue paper nomad clothing is atrocious. The armor itself looks good, but it's not like the pictures. I mean, it was weird as well. I've had it looking like some sort of ballerina type thing, kind of like hanging off the clothing. It looks a bit weird.
That's
the armor's
not the
cool.
image you want, is it?
No, it's not. I don't.
Ballerina.
I'm a hardcore ballerina. It's not quite working for me. I think maybe we need to get some color into it. I think that maybe if we could dye it black or a different color rather than the slightly off white used tissue paper look, isn't a good look if you ask me. But so yeah, no, but yeah, I can imagine that, you like on the back with the rocket launcher and then like all the kind of the wind and the sorry, I'm getting carried away now.
In your hair.
Yeah, the wind in your
you're not going to be very safe on foot in this game. You've got people in the back of cyclones with machine guns. You've got rocket launchers. You've got ships that are hovering over an atmosphere, just gunning the fuck out of you. Yeah. You run out of oxygen.
Fall onto a cactus.
If they find you, you're fucked. But you have to find you, and it's pretty
true. Yeah, if you think like if you've ever gone down to an outpost, you only see it at like 1,000, 2,000 kilometers away. If you're a person, there's no way unless they have a scanning system looking for infantry, you're going to see him and you're going to be like, right, I'll just fucking sit behind a rock and wait for him to pass. Of course, it is hard to see anything unless you are literally about a few hundred meters away from the surface. So you should be safe to a point, unless they start randomly firing, and you're like, bollocks.
I've been trying to do that mission where you have to collect the black box from this broken down crashed starfarer on the moon. I've been trying to do that, and all I get is sniped because there's someone just always there, just sniping people.
Welcome to the future of Star Citizen.
Yeah. Sniping, EMPing,
it's get your ass kicked all the time.
That's just just run away. Run away.
It didn't help that I had like 5 frames at that point. I was like, oh no, I'm dead. Damn.
Yeah. The other ship which we talk about, because I'm not going to bring the videos up because there wasn't much to, was the Banu Merchantman. They showed us the Banu Merchantman. I know a lot about the Banu Merchantman. We already know it's a float. It's a bizarre. What was interesting is the way that they're now building the ships. So rather than before it was the outside of the ships, they're now focusing on the pipeline. Is we build the inside first. We build the inside first, and we're thinking about the scale of the aliens going into this. Obviously, we've got the Banu, who are much taller than humans. The fact that the Banu now are able to trade, the only race I think that are able to trade with the Vandal that isn't, which is quite interesting. I was curious, is if you owned a Banu, does that mean that your reputation potentially with the Vandal enables you to trade with the Vandal?
They say Banu trade with the Vandal. Does that mean if you own one of those ships, you're going to be able to? They haven't said that. But
well, that's what I was curious about. Does that increase your reputation, perhaps, to the point? So rather than an average person that started,
I like you now.
No, but your starting point's higher.
You might be less kill on sight because they might see your ship first and think, someone we can trade with, rather than just shoot you.
Yeah, you may say if you like as part of the Banu going on their ship, they'll say you can't fight with the because you can just imagine strolling on. Oh yeah, just come to Vandal. And then suddenly this huge fight erupts. They'll be like, right, well, you are never coming back on my ship again, bitch. Get out of it. So I don't know how it'll work. Yeah.
That is one thing, though, because we got player-owned Banu Merchantmans, but what about Banu-owned ones? Like, I presume they're going to be a thing, and we're going to be able to dock on those. And like you said, and then if you are going to have a chance,
probably be like a no-gun
Vandal, I would have thought.
No gun policy,
What I love the most about the Banu, I mean, I'm not too fussed about it, like a lot of people are, but I love the fact that they have these little storefronts, and I really hope that you can rent out a storefront and have your own little bazaar there and sell your unique, like the guy who owns the Banu. It's a bit like Firefly, where they have that prosy in the back,
She's not
it's
a prosy.
Bit like that.
It's exactly like that.
A high-class escort.
I'm just an escort. Yeah, I love you're a prosy. No, I'm an escort. We'll agree to disagree. Potato.
Partner.
Yeah,
so outrageous.
If you could rent out to like specific sellers who sell certain
you want it to be like Amsterdam.
I love how Matt. I love how you gone straight to the prosy. Straight, like, you don't. I want a storefront about so I can have traveling women that I sex shop that I can have with me.
storefront
get
so I
it.
can make it into a sex shop.
I get it.
The cool thing is, though, is that you can have one store that sells Vandal weapons that only you can buy from the Banu, because you're not going to go to a Vandal and be like, excuse me, mate, how much for your sword?
That thing on your back. How much?
Can we just call a truce because I want to buy your sword? And then just... But if they had that, and then they had a trinket of Jan, or is it the Jan or the Banu that have special trinkets that you can display on your ship and things? There's one of the other.
Oh, I don't know actually.
And they like, I think it's the Banu because they wear it on themselves as a sign of wealth.
Well, they have said that it's the place where you could possibly find exotic stuff from other species, didn't they? They've really said that.
And I hope you can build, like, the way I look at it is that you build reputation with the Banu, and then they can then once you get good enough rep with them and they trust you and they like you and all the rest of it, that they show you their executive lounge area where they have all the good weapons, not prozzies, but good weapons. If you want prozzies, maybe that could be a different Banu ship for Mac, specifically the Mac the Mac love boat. The Mac love boat. But personally, you know, I'm hoping they'd have all like exclusive components, and they'd be like, "Walk this way, Mr. Madness." It'd be like John Wick, like walking in. They'd be like, "I need a showing." You know what I mean? You just like rock in, you know, and they'd be like, "Welcome back. I need a showing." You know, can you just kind of like tailoring, set me up with some stuff, get my suit, get my armor, all the rest of it.
Like a peep show.
Yeah, well, if you want the peep show, that's on your ship. You've already established this, Mac. That's the Mac love boat. I'm talking about the Continental. That's what my my carrack is going to be called, the Continental. So it's going to be for assassins and
you go and you get croissants and
you can have a croissant.
It's a big box of chocolates. You open it up, and it's Thornton's written on the side.
It's like the worst thing after you go for a night out somewhere and you come back and it's like, oh, we don't have a full English, we only have continental breakfast. What?
It's going to be... that continental breakfast is pretty poor, I have to say, but the Assassin Lounge is pretty good. Lots of beer. But yeah, no, I love the idea of it, and I can't wait to see more of the Banu stuff. I mean, we didn't see enough. I mean, it's in concept only. They're obviously...
It's
gone back to concept,
apart from a couple of concept pictures.
Yeah, from what they did show, it did look really beautiful.
What I found really funny about the whole of the Banu presentation was the fact, you know, talking of French and continental and stuff, was the fact that every time he said client, I thought he was saying crayon.
Yes. It's like crayon. Yeah.
But you know what I did say?
Negotiation room for the crayon.
Did you see my notes? Did you see my notes, Mac? I said the Banu in short which has to be spoken with a French accent. It is really, really big. And you can get a very expensive wine on this or something. I gone Indian. What have I gone Indian? I should be should be French. Oh god, I've drunk too much. Carry on, guys. I'm going away.
Chat's just picking on me right now.
Someone give him a spade.
Why am I your toad?
I don't know. I don't even know what the monkey's talking about. I'm just like,
Ribbit.
If I was a toad, yeah, I can go for that one. We were talking about if I'm Luigi, who's Mario?
Mario.
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 Mac is Mario. Not Mac, sorry. Miz is Mario.
Yeah, Miz could be
Miz
Mario.
is definitely Mario. Come on.
Or vice versa.
I would say vice versa, really. I think. Yeah.
No, I'm not green. I'm not a Luigi.
No. Are you red then?
Yeah.
You'll have to be.
I don't know.
I could be the dinosaur if you want. I'll give you a lift. Jump on, lads. Whatever that dinosaur's called. I don't know what it's called. I don't know.
That's your prosy.
Jump on, lads.
Jump on, lads.
It's not the first time you said that before. Jump on, lads.
Jump on, lads. Come on.
Jump on, boys. Let's do it.
I'm the dinosaur.
Hey, do you know what? You know, crazy things happen. Crazy things happen on crazy nights out, you know?
On the Banu ship, yeah. All sorts.
Yoshi, that's the one. Thank you. I did have a Nintendo as a child. I just played it at friends' houses. I just would go around friends' houses, knocking on the door. Can I please come in and play on your Nintendo?
And then you did role play.
Jump on.
Jump on, boys. In a little green costume, running around the house. As a kid. Oh, God. God, I love it.
Right.
Yoshi, you I never had a Nintendo.
Banu Merchant Man, but we're there.
I think we just done that, yeah.
The Cyclone animation is a Carrack. Yeah, we talked about it. It looks pretty cool. The Hurricane. This is the thing again. It's all about the turrets on the Hurricane and the pure firepower of the Hurricane. Very, very interesting ship. It's obviously a glass cannon. They talk about it being a glass cannon, but you have to get close to it to hit it. So, and if those turrets are deadly, and if you can shoot down torpedoes with it, it's going to be seriously a very, very powerful ship. So
big fucking ship, don't it? I didn't think
it's a big ship. Because it has to be those turrets. Those turrets, man.
That's true. Yeah. What are they, size 3?
Size 3, 4 size 3s. It's the same. If you imagine the side of, if you took the side bit off of the hammerhead and stuck it on top of a spaceship, that's pretty much what you've got, really.
Yeah.
So it needs to be a big ship, to have it. So for me, I know I've always said like Zach is very excited about that ship, and if Zach's excited about a ship, everybody should be worried. So because you're all going to die. So
you're all going to die
a horrible and horrible death. So that's pretty cool. The origin sail, nothing new as far as we talked about already. So it's just
everybody was so excited when they kept asking today on streams, "Oh, who's the sail today?" And every time I put origin, everyone just went,
Yeah.
They made that noise via text, I'm guessing.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy any.
There is Discord.
I'm going to give up on the tours. So tour guiding.
You can't give up on the tours. Do a tour of the Javelin.
Tour is all you've got because your pirating sucks. So don't give up on your tours.
I used to be a pirate.
And then I was shot in the knee, and now I become.
We're just going to meet you in a bar. Tours. We'll see him in a bar somewhere, drowning in sorrows.
That's actually going to be his pirate. He's not pirate. He's pirate tours.
Yeah,
total misunderstanding.
This is where the pirates tours used to happen.
Addicted tour guides happening today.
Tour guide. No, but yeah, the 600i.
Yar.
Like I said, would actually be quite fun to fly around with right now if I could get it.
Well, they showed, I don't know if it was anything new, a little bit on the 600i. It's a bit more on the internals, showing how sleek and slimy it is. I mean, smooth.
Did you see anything worthwhile?
I don't
Not
think
really.
Not really.
So. I think we just talked about stuff that was already known.
I would like to have seen the 300.
Connie.
Yes, I would as well.
One thing I did think was odd in the video that they said is that they're working on the 600i, which will influence how the 300 series looks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Now, but everything else they've done it the other way. So they've worked. That's why they've started introducing the smaller ships first, because that brings you the basis of what all the materials are, and then they put it into the bigger ships. Whereas this one, they've gone, no, let's build the big fuck off ship, and then we'll go back and redo the 300i.
They did that. Odd. I think you've hit the nail on it, like in the head, in my sense. Because if you think about it, there was one ship before all of that as well, which was the 890 Jump, which was kind of the bigger ship again. And was that? I mean, when did the 890 Jump come out before all of the smaller ships?
No,
or was it around about the same sort of time?
300
first.
And maybe a few years later, like 2 or 3 years later, it was the 890, I think, or maybe 2 years, something like that.
2 years later,
they never started fleshing it out, did they? I agree. I think it would have been a better idea maybe to have fleshed out the style for the 300 and then gone into doing it for the. Yeah. I'm assuming they just wanted something bigger so they could actually use more of an influence, like as in to say the 800 is the inspiration. Sorry, the 600 or the 600 is the inspiration. I'm fucking too many numbers.
Yeah,
600 is the inspiration for the other ones, but.
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if. I mean, I'm expecting to see a new
ship, isn't it?
890. I'm expecting to see a new 890 styling to match more along the lines of the 600. Honestly.
Well, they did say that the 890 is going to be developed afterwards as well. So the 600 will lock down all the features, and then they'll push them to put the others in the pipeline and use the same assets to make those.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised how expensive the 800. How much was it before the 890 Jump when it first released?
Over 1,000 now, isn't it? It's crazy.
Was it 1,000 now? It's 1,000 now.
Yeah, it's over 1,000 now. Just up.
It's 1,000 now. I wasn't it like 600 or something when it first came out.
Yeah, it wasn't really close.
It was about 750, wasn't it?
750. I know. Yeah, 6. I don't know if. Like I said, it's all about when the first came out. I can't remember
the same price as the Polaris, wasn't it?
700. Yeah, maybe 750. I guess someone in chat will probably be able to tell us because someone's probably got it.
Around that.
600 first time.
Wow, 600.
I don't know.
Someone's got a buy.
Now it's 1,000. Imagine how much that's going to be when the component.
Oh, sounds right. Oh, check me out. Just the knowledge bounce.
Hopefully we can get it on finance though.
Yeah, get it on finance, baby. Get it on credit.
Credit
I
card,
tell you what,
you'll
you
be
guys,
fine.
you can give me your money, and then I'll give you these little pieces of paper that says IOU on them, and we're good to go. And we'll sort it out. Don't worry.
I want mine in $1 IOUs.
Don't worry. Totally trustworthy.
Give him Monopoly money back.
I'm gonna get coffee.
2,500, I think, for the Javs. It was 2,500 last year. Holy mother of wow.
Yeah, the Javs are going up, aren't they?
Well, they said that everything's going up. You know, it costs a lot more money to make these spaceships. They've got to have people come on board. You know, get the machinery. You know, to make them, to mill them out of steel, metal. It's expensive.
The digital.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. You know,
really be made.
it's all. What are you talking about? Don't ruin my immersion. It's totally.
Everyone's sitting there waiting for it to be wheeled up outside their front door.
Yeah,
it's like a real ship, I know. It will be coming at some point.
I have to
Take
say,
the model that goes in your hangar.
I have to say, for that kind of money, I'd like to think that they would give you something other than a poster.
I tell you what, there was I put a picture in the document of like it wasn't a Hornet, I think it was something from 40k, but I'd love to have those models available. Like, I'm obviously not expecting the proper ship, but like a decent
die-cast,
not the ship that they've done, but a proper nice quality model ship that you can buy of like your favourite ship, get it painted, and just look fucking awesome.
They need to talk to
Masterpiece. The Connie's come out, isn't it? The Connie's come out for sale again.
Connie's out.
In the very the model, the Constellation model.
Oh, the Constellation model. Okay.
What, is it on the store now?
Yeah, it's on the store again. It's on for sale again.
Yeah, Bristol was
the other day when I looked.
You don't even get a game package for spending over that kind of money. Good point. That is pretty crazy. But no, I mean, I personally, I do think that I agree with Miz. It would be super cool if they could actually. There's some amazing modeling facilities out there and companies that I'm sure would die to make some models for Star Citizen and put them on. They would make a killing.
It would be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a Polaris model.
Some good quality. None of this crappy ones. Good quality.
Of them, really.
All of them, yeah. But for me, just the Polaris. I'd be happy with that.
No, all of them. I'd give $96 for a freaking plastic model.
They're not very good either, though. I've looked at them. They don't look good. They don't look good at all.
Isn't it the old model as well? Probably.
Yeah, it's the original. Yeah, it's the very first.
Wait until they finish the ships.
Kind of looks 3D printed.
But then they become rare as well. The models could become collector's items as well. You forget because then they change.
You can bring the
so
wings
if anyone
in
wants
and
to
out.
buy one for $96 and send me it, I'll paint it.
Nice.
You can bring the wings in and out as well, and the landing pad and how it rotates on it. I think that's about it.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I have another video to go over. So we have.
Oh, is that which one you doing now? Time lapse thing.
So I'm going to do. We have the time lapse. So we're going to bring up the time lapse. So if no one has seen this, let me bring it up.
The mouse mat's come back in.
This I think just shows off. I think 3.0. I think for me, and just stunning. It's absolutely stunning. So if you haven't seen it. Oh,
it is pretty cool. I kind of skimmed through earlier.
How can you skim through a time lapse video?
So I'm not going to put.
Of it is,
sorry.
The point of it is to watch it. I skimmed through a time.
I think
it wasn't time lapsed quick enough.
I mean, I have to say, I don't know about you guys, but this is how funny it was with my wife, because I was on the planet. I managed to be on the planet, and the moon, the dark side of the moon was coming. You know, the sun was setting effectively, and the shadow was crossing over and approaching me. And I quickly looked to my wife, and I grabbed her. And I was like, "Quick, come, check it out! Look, the moon! Look, the shadow line's coming. It's amazing!" And she just looked at me with that look of like absolute who gives a shit, which was absolutely hilarious. But I was like, it's freaking amazing. And she was like, yeah, okay.
$15 for postage on a mouse mat.
Okay. But it's mind-blowingly beautiful.
It is.
It's again, it's setting that bar of expectation and standard now. And then they'll build on this again. It's like this, you know, it blows my mind when I see it, and then oh my god, just look at that! It's just orgasmic. And then they'll set the next bar again. It's like the bar, they just keep raising this bar.
It's like you were saying earlier, wasn't it? It's like as much as the game is at the moment PTU is not ready to kind of go live. it's still, when you get those moments where you can go for an hour sometimes, it is amazing.
There's some bits in that video that are just like better than others. They chose it off on. It's just absolutely stunning.
Like, have you guys seen the 4K videos the guy was doing?
I've seen a few.
Wow, just amazing! Like you see this one scene with the ring going around the moon. It's just beautiful seeing it in 4K.
Yeah. I mean, again, you can't fault. And I go, well, this is the standard they've set now. It's going to get better. The frames are going to get better. The quality is going to get better. We're going to get more optimization. We're going to be playing this. It's going to get better.
If you just took that video and showed people that without telling them it was a game or anything else, and it was like, there was no way, if you just showed some random person that never heard of it, that they would think that was an alpha footage from a game. It's like, oh, by the way, this is just alpha.
This is just alpha. This is like the first patch. This is the first drop.
Stuff though, as well, is some of the nicest. The asteroid filter.
Oh, look at that! Yeah. It's just. I'm sorry, see, I have to. If I could applaud right now, I'm going to applaud you.
Random that was.
It's a very slow. I'm giving you a applaud. I'm giving you a clap, guys. Seriously, I'm not. You've done a great, superb, absolutely superb. Yes, okay, it's buggy, but I know you'll fix that. So
it's definitely proving that
slow
they're capable of doing
not 100% fast.
They would.
Yeah, and with this this new patch, it's nice to see that they're just rolling out the fixes, like the fix with the Moby-Glass. It's nice to see that been fixed.
That didn't work because mine was bugged earlier, so.
Well, they rolled it out and it kind of cleaned up the Moby like completely, and then
it's just kind of going slowly back. Yeah, like sometimes I like the holographic image. Sometimes works in the middle. That's pretty.
Okay, and
I'm
also
just going to post the link for that time lapse in chat, so if people can go and upvote it, please, because it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, and here's another video. Now, this was taken from, this is a YouTube video I watched earlier. Board Gamer is actually, if you follow Board Gamer on Twitter, he's actually posted a link earlier to this video. I've just cut it into two, so it's a bit more manageable rather than just watching straight up the whole thing. But this video, this person has done a fantastic job of comparing what we've been playing in 2.6 graphically with 3.0. Okay, and it is superb. So I'm about to put two of the videos on. So the first one is comparing just the atmosphere, the old settings of 2.6 versus 3.0, and the next one is ships. It's really cool. And I'm just about to bring it on now. Here we go. So yeah, you can kind of see. So that's 2.6 versus 3.0. Did you instantly see the color difference? The way they've coloured it differently.
Wasn't it before?
So, you know, look at that difference. Obviously, the colour grading, gone for a very different colour grade. Gone for more of a much more blue colour.
Natural colour rather than some weird blue hue all over everything. When you see the old 2.6, you can't imagine it actually looked like that compared to the new one.
Yeah.
It wasn't
the
that blue,
the new ones. Well, the new one's all blue. The new one's all blue.
The old freelancers.
The one on the right is 2.6, Miz. When you first see it, and then the blue one is actually 3.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the way. Yeah, you were. That was funny. You think it's more natural. That's interesting what you say though, because they have color graded it a little bit different.
The other one looks more natural though.
Yeah. They've gone for more of a blue finish.
I'm looking at it in the tiny screen where you're showing. So yeah.
Yes. Sure.
The natural one I still think I don't like all that blue there, but then it doesn't look blue when you're in the game though.
No, it doesn't. No.
Because I mean, one of the first things I said to Toby when I logged in on the game, I said it all looks a lot sharper and the colours popped a lot more. So, on this screen it's looking bluer, but I don't know. When I actually logged into the game, it was a lot. It looked so when you go up to the landing pads and that the signs and everything, the colours seem to pop out a lot more as well.
Right, I'm just going to pause it there for a second because we're talking about the blue.
From the globe, isn't it? That's probably what it is. Because like you see his arm's not blue. It's probably like
that friggin' Moby-Glass.
I'm going to bring this up. I'm bringing this up for a second.
Stuck again. This Moby-Glass is locked on.
No, don't worry.
It's stuck.
I'm bringing it.
What are you putting up with?
What are you putting there? Just make sure you've.
Don't worry.
Screened it first.
No, I have to be careful. No, what it is it's a good point. I do have to be careful.
Is that a surfer dude?
This is to do with the way that color grading in film happened during the early 2000s, 90s, and 2000s.
Like filters.
Yeah, they went for a much more a blue teal kind of thing. Transformers was over the top. If you ever see Transformers, you'll notice all the skin colors and toning was incredibly blue and orange, and that was kind of a thing.
Orange is fine.
That was a thing of the time. And so when I saw this, it did make me kind of realize, they've gone very much for that kind of bluing. That kind of blue effect, which it is a thing and was a thing and still is a thing. It's just one of those things.
Take it off.
One of those things that's a thing, that's still a thing, and was a thing.
It was a thing, is a thing,
I don't
and continues
like that
to be a thing. That's my analogy and roundup.
It can, like, sometimes if it's still like, my girlfriend won't watch anything if it's got like a brown filter, because she said everything's just too brown, it ruins it. Like Gladiator, she's not seen Gladiator because it's too brown. I'm like, and she didn't like Russell Crowe, but I'm like, you're missing out on a great film.
Oh my days! Gladiator is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Tie her down to a chair and make her watch it.
Put matchsticks in her eyes.
Yeah.
She'll watch this film.
She'll be like that. Oh, it's Friday night again. Yay!
And while you're there,
while you're there.
Oh God!
What game are we playing tonight, Mac? What's the safe word tonight, Mac? You'll be like, slightly different tonight, love.
Bobby Glass.
Star Citizen 3.0.
Yeah, but again, this just shows. I think it just shows you the level of detail. I mean, ignoring the color grading, if you like it or not, that's a personal choice. But I think you can really see the improvements to space. I think when you see this now, I think this one, the real improvement and the way they've done the coloring, the darker. You really get a sense of atmosphere. So much more atmosphere and ambience.
I think a big improvement that they seem to have been working on a lot is. Lighting. Lighting seems to be one of the main, and they did say, didn't they, when they were talking about lighting, how you can make a bad lighting can make a good scene look terrible, or it can make a terrible scene look
look at that,
pretty good. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But lighting is so important. I think that really helps. I mean, they've textured the moons. I preferred the old ones, to be honest, looking at this.
Oh no, I'm looking at this now going, hang on.
Thanks, Manny, for the host, buddy.
Telling me that this one's the new one, and I'm like, better. What's going on?
Dude.
It doesn't look like that in game. That's what I feel like. I'm watching this video going, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah. Well, you guys can see the links if you want to. They're in the Addicted podcast. I will post up some of the streamable links so you guys can watch them on your screen a bit bigger, because obviously these guys are seeing it very small. But anyway, that's the so that's that one, and then I'm going to show you the ship comparison. Okay, so this is the ship comparison for 3.0 versus 2.6. So there's the Carrack. This is a little bit longer. We'll see a bit more of the variation between the Carrack and stuff. You have to excuse some of the
Carrack or cut? You mean cat?
Cutlass, sorry, Cutlass.
Cutlass.
I'm sorry. I'm just my mind is all about the Carrack at the one. I mean,
there are a lot of ships with the names beginning with C, though.
Yeah,
and I always reel them all off before I get to the one I want, no matter what that ship is.
Yes. If you drink
Cutlass, Caterpillar.
Oh God, yeah.
Carrot, cucumber.
So here you go. So that's
cabbage.
The cockpit change. So if you can see that before, that's what it was before.
That definitely looks like an improvement. I'll give them that.
That looks a lot
better.
Yeah, damn right it is.
And then this is the internal for the 2.6. And then now
God, it looks
for
awful,
3.0.
doesn't it?
Much lighter. I could actually see shit though in 2.6. That's the only thing.
There's a toilet in 2.6.
Now this I'm sorry. This is a backward step. I'm sorry, guys. There's some good things here. But then
that is so much nicer, don't you think, guys? Look at that better that is.
This is the only one.
The new one.
The old, you can see when you compare the old Cutlass to the new one, it looks just like the old Freelancer to the new one. And at the time, though, you look at it and you think, that's incredible. And then they go and update it and you think, okay, no, that's incredible. That was shit.
It's so weird. When you first had the first Freelancers, you're going, because now the old ones are still in there if you've got any of the variants. And you go in and you think, this. Like when you first had it, you thought, "Oh, this looks cool. This cockpit's amazing." And now you go in and you think, "Fuck! What game were they making when they made this cockpit? It's shit. It looks really bad."
This is the biggest improvement for me. In terms of the best looking cockpit
got rid
improvement,
of the orange.
The Sabre looks.
Oh yeah, the
fantastic.
Sabre. This is the cockpit that we tried guessing on the.
What a cockpit!
And it is, it was the Sabre.
It is such a big improvement, the Sabre cockpit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Gorgeous.
I've been flying it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely, yeah, really stunning. And then this is to show the difference between, I think, the kind of like reading displays and stuff. I'm not sure, but anyway.
The MFTs. They are actually quite a lot more usable now, and not if you've got bad frames, because you're like, nope.
They're really blurry though as well. The text they need to do. They keep trying to do this fancy glowing text, and it just makes all the text look blurry all the time. They just need to give a nice sharp, clear font instead of trying to make it look like some. I don't know what they're doing with it, but. Make it readable, damn it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can see the clarity. Like I said, the Sabre cockpit for me is the best cockpit in terms of the fighters that I've seen so far. They show you the Hornet in a bit, which I think is quite good as well. Not too bad. But again, this comes back to my point when I got so salty with the Gladius, was just like, you know, all the other ships, they seem to follow more of a match to what there was before. And in the Gladius, they kind of said, fuck it, we're going to completely change all. And we're going to suddenly scoop out the middle and make the gun visible. And it was like, what?
Who doesn't want to see their gun?
You know, it was like, I think the reality is I think they learned from that and they realised it was a mistake, but it was too late to change it. I think it will change again. But look at that. Look, it's pretty much the same layout. What was interesting here, I thought, when you compare... Sorry, I'm just going to go back. If you compare between the Hornet...
One on the Hornet, though, you can't see the display because the stick's in the way.
Yeah, that's what I was...
The stick's got so big.
Look, here we go. So I'm going to split it in the half.
Fucking weird.
You can't see it.
So the stick is actually about the same size. But what's interesting is that the HUDs in this one.
It's not growing. It's not growing.
The HUDs are smaller in the Hornet to the previous one.
Put it lower, have they? It's not in. They've changed the angle as well, have they?
Yeah, I think they've done a lot of that. Part of this cockpit experience is to sort of work with VR as well, so that, or just head tracking at the very least, so that when you turn to it, you can see it. But even with head tracking, you can still lean forward into your sort of screens, can't you?
Yeah. But I was genuinely like. If I was a Hornet pilot, I mean, if I can't read them as clearly as I could do. Do you know what I mean? It actually genuinely looks a little bit like a step back. Now I haven't flown the Hornet yet, so I have to fly it properly to get a thing. But just from looking on this picture alone, I was a bit like, well, that's interesting. They made it look a bit smaller.
When you're in it and you're flying it, and then you actually use the interaction, you can actually easily see because it zooms in perfectly.
Yeah. So here's the Aurora.
So I'm not going to mention the new canopy clear Toby. Last time, I don't know if maybe they've patched it back out again, but when I first went in, it's like fucking like the window cleaner had just smeared. Do you know when they get a dirty rag and clean your windows, and then normally wipe it off?
Look at this.
It's not. It's
that's
just like
better because
it's smear on it, and then
they're not so big now. You know.
That's such a difference.
I'm behind.
That is.
I'm looking forward to seeing what we're looking at. That's
the Aquila.
Yeah, me and Mac are looking at the wrong place.
Yeah, we're looking at the fucking delayed thing.
Oh no! Don't look at that. Look at
Zoom. You can see
look at Zoom. You see it live, boys. You see it at the same time.
Yeah. We figured that out.
The reason he's doing it now is you can see the live videos and you're both watching the old ones.
I'm looking at the Aurora panel, thinking, what the fuck?
Lads. Yeah, no.
Got rid of the blue. They got rid of the blue on that one.
Yeah, I know. They got rid of all the. I was a bit surprised. I thought that they would keep a bit of that as just a kind of a homage to the original kind of colorway, but I guess they went, no, fuck it, it's terrible. We're moving on.
You made everyone else.
There's a little bit.
This one browner.
There's a little bit there actually on the door. There's a tiny little bit of teal.
The difference in the both Connors is that the new one looks like the things are fitted properly, like someone who knows what they're doing, whereas the other one just looks like they've just it looks bare and empty, where things have just stuck.
Look at that for a difference.
Oh yeah, I mean every time I walk onto the Constellation cockpit or bridge, and you have the light from the sun, gauging through the windshield, it feels incredible.
Yeah.
And the old table in the Constellation was just a joke. It's like, what?
But you can make it work now. You can lift it up. The
table actually
working again now.
Yeah.
Good. Play cards on it. Bold.
So I mean, I will try and find the links for people if people want to watch.
You're not blowing bubbles.
He was doing something. Doing something.
There's one. And there's the other one.
So that's an interesting, because I've been talking to people who have a Cartier Blade, but what do you think of the Moby Glass and the navigation? Because this is the first time you guys have tried it, haven't you?
Yeah, they need some improvements. For me, when it comes to some of the missions, it doesn't tell you where you have to go, and then it doesn't show you where you have to go. So you have to randomly click through all the different moons to hoping that it highlights that area, and it's a pain in the backside.
I was thinking that's likely because we're not supposed to be checking missions, are we? Because I noticed that. I went to click on a mission, I was like, I want to find this wreck, and then I looked on the mobile glass, and it's not telling me anywhere where it is.
Yeah. If you actually looked at the patch notes, they want you to check traversal at the moment.
Yeah, it's literally like what they did with the Ivacoti, where they released it, and you just have a specific thing. Lots of things are disabled. A lot of things aren't disabled, but are buggy.
It's because there's no separate build. This is the build. It's just that they want you to concentrate on the things they're fixing at the moment, and then they'll go through and fix each process.
Okay.
But I don't mind the mobiGlass map. I think it's usable. But they did say that they want you to be able to use that to zoom all the way into the planet's surface, and then all the way out to the universe. And I think if they need to have like quick hotkeys to allow you to click, because when you're scrolling, you spend
10
hours.
minutes later, you're like, or you go.
Yeah,
it was a lot worse.
They should be able to put a search
because it started off where you zoomed out and you could see the whole like universe almost, and you could see ArcCorp and everything else, and you had to zoom in for about 10 minutes before you even got close to your position, which was a bit crazy. But so it's getting improved, but
they will have like the navigation table and things on the Carrack and those panels that you get. They will have methods of doing it that way where you don't have to. The pilot doesn't have to find it. Yeah. You can have someone else as the navigator on a station.
You do that a little bit on, well, not quite set it, but you in like Sea of Thieves, the map table is underneath in the ship, and you like over comms in Sea of Thieves. There's like a map table underneath.
I've not played
the map and the areas, and then you can see like they tell the captain then which way to go. So yeah, it'd be kind of nice if you have like a map table or something like that, and you could pick a destination and it gets sent through to the bridge. But I kind of miss a little bit being able... So I like the map, and it would be kind of nice on the mobiGlass or when they eventually integrate it into the ship that you could set multiple destinations. So you know that you can't jump directly to, say, Grim Hex, but you could just set... So I want to jump to the first point, then I want to jump to OM1, and then Grim Hex, and put 3 points in. But I also kind of miss a little bit where you can just toggle the button and see all the jump points. Like, why can't we have a little bit of both? So if you're not necessarily plotting a main course, why can't you just pick it up and go, oh, actually that one looks like the nearest station, I'll head to that truck stop, rather than going through 10 different menus to get to where the nearest truck stop is.
Yeah, they'll make it a little more user friendly and streamlined, because at the moment you have to use it every time you want to jump anywhere, and that's just not practical. So over time they will introduce it a little better, but I don't know when. I don't know when that's going to happen. It's just suppose as time goes on, they'll introduce a little aspect where you can maybe, like you're saying, if you're planning a mission a few jumps away, you would want to have the end goal, and then it will give you an option of which way to go. Do you want to go through roller space? Do you want to go through the long space lanes, or do you want to do it a different way? And you can just pick one, and then it will line up the first jump for you, which is to one place. And then
like the other day, I had to get to somewhere, and I can't remember who it was. But there was a big, there was a moon in the way, so I had to go all the way round. I had to go all the way round just to get there.
Yeah. It could be a bit frustrating having to go OM1.
Yeah, that's it's definitely my thing. Is that before you could do the quantum jump manually to just go to a location, then cancel it, so that you could at least get around the planet. You know what I mean? Like in 2.6, whereas now I can't seem to do that. I have to pick a point to jump to, which is limiting. Like you guys probably said.
Is that to do with the new? Because I told you on the ATV, didn't they? The new quantum animations. They picked where you were and where you had as your starting point, and that's how they worked out the animation for you going into quantum, traveling at quantum, and then coming out of it. So if you don't set that destination, there's nothing for it to calculate. And I think that's why it's kind of not letting you just drop out, because it can't do the animation to let you drop out.
Which kind of sucks, because the whole point of space is I should be able to go where the fuck I want. Rather
really.
Than
I don't see why you can't just, especially on a long journey, you think, fuck it, actually, no, I don't want to go all that way. No. If you're going on a really long jump, you're committed to that. Surely you should be able to disengage quantum.
Maybe they'll maybe come in at some point then. Maybe.
Well, it's kind of I'm still debating that. They said about having beacons, having jump point beacons. Now that could just be to locate a place that at random that you find.
Yeah, but how would you get there to place the beacon in the first place?
No, that's true. Yeah. So
and do you really want to jump beacon to beacon to beacon to beacon to beacon?
Good answer, lad.
Beacon.
Yeah.
It's
true though. I mean, I want to be that, you know, at the end of the Star Trek movie where, you know, he's been told he has to retire the Enterprise and he just goes, fuck it, I'm going into space and I don't care. See you guys. Boom, engage.
He didn't say that, though, did he?
Pretty much.
Imagine being like Void. You end up getting lost in the verse.
Should have. That was my version. In my head, that's what he said.
Version. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Let's go, guys.
The end of Star Trek.
Could you imagine?
Go beyond anywhere it's been before. Nah, fuck it.
Could you imagine? I always loved it. I always loved that scene, and I thought about it later. And I thought, what if there was one guy who was like really excited? He was just about to see his wife or whatever, or his girlfriend. He hadn't seen her for a few months or whatever, and he's just about to get ready. He's all packed. He's ready to go, and like the captain says, "And we're going, guys." He's like, "No." Another 5 years randomly just because Kirk wants to go on an adventure.
Fucking Kirk. That's it. They should do like a diary room of all the other people on board. Being like fucking Kirk though. He constantly wants to explore. Can't we just go to our wives and whatnot?
I was enjoying these hoes on the Banu Merchantman, and all of a sudden he goes, right, we want to go on another jump. It's like, I don't want to explore. I'm happy where I am.
I'm tired. I want to get laid. You're the only one that seems to be getting laid to some hot women. Come on. Anyway, slightly off topic. I have two videos, and then Bao, you can take lead if you want to, because I think you wanted to talk about the town hall. So, if you have any points.
What, the local town hall?
As soon as you said that, he fucked off.
Yeah, good job, Bio. See you later, Bio.
You can take lead, Bio. No, Bob, I'm off.
Bye, Bio.
It's because we just done about that in Star Trek, just fucking, fuck it, I'm walking off. And then he went, yeah, fuck it, I'm walking off.
Bye, Bio.
See you, Bio.
To infinity.
So we won't be talking about Town Hall.
Has he just...
I think he's crashed.
Ah, okay.
When he's crashed, don't worry.
Discord didn't make a noise.
We'll come back.
He's still in Discord.
He's not talking though. I think he's just dead. Anyway, whatever.
He's just dead.
He died. Yeah.
Whatever. We'll move on. He's crashed, just like 3.0. We were talking about 3.0 when he crashed. This was quite cool. I thought someone posted this video. I got two things to videos. One, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to try out the railgun yet, but I was like, holy shit! The explosion on that was amazing.
I've seen the railgun before. I ain't seen it on that one though.
I was like, damn.
That's a proper explosion.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be that close to it, do you? I bet the guy found it was like, oops.
Yeah. Woo.
John, just stay over there. You don't need to see this.
A part of me was like, I thought that maybe it was a doctored video for a real explosion in real life, but then I couldn't tell. This is the point. I was at the point when I was going, is that a real ship, a real airplane, and someone's doctored the explosion and kind of put it over the top of the video to try and make it look more impressive than it is, or if that's legitimately real? I didn't know.
The way the rubble goes everywhere, that's a proper nice explosion.
Yeah, it's stunning. Absolutely, like, wow. I mean, I was expecting him to be blown off his feet, to be fair. That would have been even better if he got thrown backwards. And he woke up with like damage to his visor, you know, cracked and stuff. Would have been pretty cool.
Now he's just thinking, how the fuck am I going to get off here?
Yeah, exactly. And then this was brilliant. This is on Reddit. Someone posted this video, and he got out of his prospector. Some people may have seen this. Tough. I'm posting it again because it was brilliant. And this is what would you do in your last moments if you knew that this was happening? So watch this video and enjoy. This is really good. So he's crashed into the. He's crashed. He can't get out of his ship. This is perfect. Flips the bird on landing.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That was perfect. So
the timing on that is amazing.
It is absolutely on the button, and I was just like, "What would you do?" Like, fuck you. And then
the thing is, I had that a few. Like the ship just loses power for no reason whatsoever, and then it just vomits to the ground.
That seems to be a thing. When you run out of fuel, your ship just turns off. The engines just turn off, and you end up falling to the ground.
Very good. Very, very good.
Nice.
Boom. And it's over.
So if anybody's got any questions for us, exclamation mark questions in chat. There's a nice little form that you can fill in, and we'll endeavour to not answer them for you.
My notes on ATV were ATV sucked. Was my notes on ATV?
Can Bio just join, or will it fuck things up?
Bio can just join. Bio, you can just join. It should come back on if he wants to. You can just join in again. It's fine. It should pick you up. It should pick you up again. If not,
ATV was just about 3.0, wasn't it?
Just join the Zoom again, dude.
And I was like,
it should be fine. So yeah, ATV was like, well, it's just about going live, wasn't it? So it's like, well, there's nothing really there to talk about.
It's like when they do the retrospective of CitizenCon. It's like, well, we've seen the good bits. Nobody wants to see people queuing.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. So if anyone wants to, we can talk about.
Hey guys.
Yo, Bio, what's up, man? Right.
Yeah, I had a blue screen, man.
That's okay.
With that sad face.
Yeah, Twitch just kept on failing on me, and then all of a sudden, just everything just went blue screen.
Just join the Zoom. Join the Zoom again if you haven't already.
Yeah, I'll try now, man.
Just join now the Zoom, and then it should pick you straight up again immediately. So you just have to give it a few seconds once you've joined Zoom again. You'll be back in.
We will kill you.
Yeah, don't.
Oh my god, my camera's gone blue.
Filter on him.
Blue filter.
That's what he's gone. That's why he went.
He's gone blue filter.
Come back with a blue filter.
Blue screen, blue filter. Look at that.
You look like a Smurf.
His Bio 3.0.
So, what was the interesting things, Bio? Whilst you're trying to, I'm gonna multitask you that you liked from Town Hall.
I'm just gonna quickly sort my color out, so I'm actually looking human and not.
He's not actually on the screen.
Well, give us something to talk about.
Give us something to talk about. Multitask it. Come on, buddy. What was the what was your main point on subscriber?
The Town Hall was obviously all about the kind of the cargo systems, and they really went into depth with it, and there was some really kind of funny questions. I didn't seem to be. Like, they could have picked some better questions to really ask.
That's always the case.
Yeah, so the first question was, will automated cargo be unloading take time or straight away? So will it be automated? Will it be physical? And they're basically saying currently in the 3.0 it's instant, but they plan to make it more physical in later patches. Physical.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's going to be both, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
you're going to be able to interact with them. And did they say something about the personal arc welder having, instead of it just having a lance and a welding tool, they may put a a tractor beam on it, so you can use that as a method.
Pick stuff up.
Yeah, to move your bigger boxes around.
That's
would be cool.
Because we kind of talked about that a little while ago, didn't we? Like different types of materials in the boxes and how heavy they're going to be to pick up when you get to a planet.
Yeah.
You had little dual-wheeled arc welders and.
Well, they talked about it. They said that you are, the ultimate end goal is that you will be able to interact with the boxes and you will be able to put stuff in the boxes, open the lid, and take things out of the boxes.
Oh, not all boxes. It's only going to be like
smaller.
You can't do the oxygen.
You can't do the oxygen ones.
Yeah. It's more like they were saying like weapon parts and stuff like that, like attachment. You can put things into your own crates and stuff, and look at things and take things out.
Like if you go down to a planet, or if you take out a lot of people and they're all dead, and you have just their weapons and their armor and things lying around, you will then
bring a couple
of crates down, open it. You are.
You're gonna loot it. You're gonna steal your friend's gear if they die. Like,
they're not friends. They're not my friends.
Here's my
not anymore. They died.
Mac. So here's my thought on this, which like a question and an answer to this one. So what you just said then was, it's like, okay, I've killed these people and then I want to put a box down. Well, we already know that it's not like Zelda magic, or Harry Potter kind of magic sack, where you'd have to technically have a box attached to your back, kind of, if it's meant to be kind of real. So I was thinking the solution for this would be potentially kind of like origami style, or kind of like a box that kind of like potentially gets bigger, from a small and then expands. So you could potentially use up an item slot to carry a box with you, which then
like
expands into a big box.
Containers that are flattened and then you fill it up.
And it kind of expands and stuff. So that would be my answer to that scenario. Then you have to physically lift it and put it on your Dragonfly, which would be quite cool. That kind of a question and an answer there. the thing that I feel like they're missing the opportunity in a way is actually, we were saying about not being able to maybe interact with bigger boxes, but how cool would it be like if you were like on a Caterpillar or one of the bigger kind of hull seas, and you were a pirate and you robbed it or whatever, but you got to one of the boxes and you could see what was in the boxes, and Noxes, like 10 Noxes were in this box.
Sorry,
like...
yeah, you misunderstood what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
You know, like if you've got like a box of chlorine, you know, you're not going to be able to open that up and take one chlorine out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So commodities you
can
can't
still
interact with, yeah, but you will have boxes that you can lift open and then put a weapon in, and another weapon in, and then another weapon. So when, you know, like
okay.
So like if you arrive at this, you've killed everyone. There's like 6 dead bodies, each with their own weapons and stuff on there. You can then bring a couple of boxes out of your cargo hold that are empty,
load them up,
and then load them with weapons, and then put them in your cargo hold and use that for your org, or sell them on, or you can just have it as a place where you have access to more weapons. The way they have it is they have stasis holding locks inside the boxes. So like a box of like,
is it kind of like like in the Cutlass we tested it out, didn't we? Like the weapon rack.
Yeah.
You activate, like there's little slots.
One slot.
You activate that and put it in. So I imagine the inside of the box would be
exactly the same. And you'll have like certain points where you can attach, like say like a box of this big, you have 9 attachments. You can have one handgun or multiple handguns in each slot, or you can have one that takes up 2, like an assault rifle, a sniper rifle will be 3 slots. And you can just keep loading them in. So when you do, you know, like if you ever play Skyrim and you go through the cave and you've got like 60 dead people and you just take everything you can, run like fast travel, sell it all, come back, pick it all up, fast travel. It's kind of like that, but on a more realistic scale where you're going to have to load these boxes up.
Yeah,
take them
instead. Using the grenades for unit size, weren't they? They were comparing within the town hall. They were saying that grenades would be 1 unit, so you could fill it up a whole crate. And then there was a question that I had. This is a bit further on a bit of paper, but I want to say it now.
Wait. Have you joined Zoom?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is your face not on?
You're not on there. Sorry.
And one of the questions was like, because you were talking, this is what I was saying, all questions seem to be the same question, and it's kind of annoying. And they gave many different answers for every single one, but it all kind of represents what could be coming with cargo, and it's pretty amazing. And one of the people said, if I put explosives in one of these crates that I can actually put things in, can I then shoot it and make it explode? And they said, not now, but we're looking into it. So that would be an amazing kind of like trap kind of
sabotage. If you want to, you could put like a bomb inside one and then they load it into their cargo.
Someone double crosses you, like
lovely crate in the middle of nowhere, and you think, oh, loot.
Yay! Boom.
To be honest, that whole town hall was really good, and I got a load of information from that. And, a lot of the things were already asked. But some things that were interesting are things like cargo boxes being sizes of 1s, 2s, like standard cargo units. 2s, 8s, 16s, 24, 32s. Now, the 24 and 32s are the ones that you're going to find dragonflies in and small ships.
Yeah. They said they had to do a 24 because there's some ships that doesn't fit the 32. So they had to do that. They didn't want to, but they had to.
And also what's cool is having players take control of, you know, like let's say if a big hully is coming into port and to offload it, you're going to need to hire the port staff, the NPCs will come and start unloading these things and back and forth. And you as a player can take a job, can't you, doing that?
Yeah, so that's what they were saying. Was one of the questions was about auto-populated and depopulate the cargo from the stuff, and then it was going on about the whole series and how they're going to look into that. And they were basically saying this is where more job opportunities and professions will come into play.
Yeah,
because they can either hire they can either hire an AI to help unload, or you can hire a player who wants to do that, which is pretty awesome.
And I like the idea of doing that as a job, just for, you know, like if you just want a little quiet time just playing the game, you can go off in your little
and
or whatever.
And those that use the whole series and they got the big one, I apologize now, because what they were saying was they were kind of posting it in real life that if you're unloading a big crate ship, it would take you 2 to 3 days. They're looking.
We were discussing that last time about how long it would take.
And they were looking
big ship.
They're looking to be slightly realistic, but slightly quicker.
They want to make sure that people don't just think, well, if it takes 10 minutes to unload a full hully, everyone would just do that because it's
why would you
the
have a
quickest way of
smaller
earning
one?
money.
Yeah.
So it's a case of they said, oh, okay, so if you get to port, go and make yourself a sandwich, go and have a shit, have a cup of coffee, go to the post office, do something in between, or go walk around in game and go shopping or whatever, because it's going to take a little bit of time, as it should do. It's got to feel good, and they're going to balance it with everything. So however long it takes you to do that will just be determined by however long it takes you to do something else, and they will find a good medium. But if you think it takes 8 minutes to jump from Artcore to Hurston, it's going to be a similar thing where if it's a Hull E, you are going to wait, but your payoff is going to be great. So that's why it's worth doing it if you don't mind just sitting around waiting or looking for your next
doing
job.
Something else, or like you said, taking the forklift driver as part of a job for a bit while you unload your own ship as well. Or...
Yeah, it would be so cool. You'd have a whole crew doing it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, that could be someone's job, like even being on the ship. If they're a movie, they when you pull up in port, you go and do something else, and then your crewmen are there unloading it or something.
There's going to be that point in the game where potentially some incident happens randomly, and you're going to wish you had the right type of gear with you to collect the loot. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be, and you're gonna have to make a decision to like take one or two items. You can't be greedy. You'll have to just go, and you'll be running out of oxygen or whatever, and you'll just have to make a quick decision and decide something, which kind of adds to the excitement of the game, in my opinion, because it'd be frustrating, but in old games you need a little bit of frustration to kind of make it feel a bit more real.
But this is like how they want the game to be played, is for people to consciously make good decisions and prepare, rather than just
try to
diving in. Oh yeah, exactly. So it's like if you have a mission that you need to do, whether it's a combat mission or whatever, you will want to make sure you've got the best equipment. And if you haven't got it like on you as a person, because you can only carry like 2 or 3 weapons or equipment pieces, put it in a box as an extra, so that if you get to some point and you think, well, I need this tool, luckily I packed it, because you fill the box with it and you can go and get it. So having this is a good idea, but also you will need to think more and plan your route and everything, and that is what makes the game fun. In my opinion, some people may find it a bit boring, but you can have other friends doing that other back stuff that you don't like, and you can just do what you do like.
Just fly the ship and let everyone do all the hard work.
Links towards the specified jobs as well. So like if you have got the bounty hunter ship or whatever, it's like there's only so many tools you can take, and so it will mean that you might find something. Well, there's nothing I can do with it. It's not my job. And so like it makes those, because otherwise if a ship can do everything and you can prepare for everything, then it does make those jobs less worthy.
Yeah.
And so
like James Bond with a gadget, does everything.
Swiss Army knife. Here you go. I've got my Swiss Army knife. Does everything.
Like Steven Seagal.
I tell you what, I sit there with a Swiss Army knife and I kind of go, it doesn't do fucking everything. It does everything poorly, is the way I look at it. It's like barely whittles anything. It can't. This sword does not cut down that tree that I need it to cut down right now. That's what I'm saying. I'll be there for a very, very, very long time trying to cut down that tree. It cuts this twig beautifully.
I better get
but I currently don't need this twig. I need that motherfucking tree.
There were some other questions. What I just like, even you agree on, Mac, that they were pointless for Disco to even read out. One of them was, what would happen if I put cargo in the doorway at Port Olisar and block the doorway off and then log off? Like, I didn't see the point in that question being read out, and why people upvoted that. I don't know why, but yes, apparently if you do that, yes, the people that try and get out that door will have to try and move those cargo crates out the way, or if they leave it, then after a while the system of the game will clean it up if no one's looking at them.
I think though, but it makes. It depends where it's
a valid question.
It is a valid question.
I mean, the answer is probably obvious that it was yes, it was going to block it. But
we
did kind of talk about this before, because I think wasn't it last week we actually said about blocking the back of your
maze,
like a
ship
maze
up.
So someone tries to make your ship, you literally block it up with cargo so people can't get in.
Yeah.
It's an extra line of slowing people down, effectively getting into your ship. If anything, it all depends what the mechanics are going to be like, but I think it adds to more interaction with the universe is better. I don't, looking at beautiful worlds is great, but I still all these games that when I see games where it's beautiful but it's very linear and you can't really engage with anything, it doesn't feel alive. Still, eventually you just become like, well, I'm just been taking on a beautiful, journey that you're taking me on, and that's fine and that's beautiful. But I want, you know, the games that really mean more to me was like when I played like Skyrim and stuff, when I could like interact with everything and build my own house and you know all that kind of. I say with Fallout as well, when you had multiple missions that lead all over the place, and you know you're collecting shit that you don't necessarily need, and you're not sure what you want. And I need this. Do I need this? Do I need this can? Or oh shit, that can was actually really valuable. This new Coca-Cola is really good. You know what I mean? It's like all that wonderful learning.
What will be very special about it though is that if you are just getting on with loading up a ship or building something or, you know, mining, the things that we appreciate now, which is the sun going down, the sun coming up, that sort of thing, are still going to happen, but we'll be busy doing something and we'll just be like, oh shit, look. And you'll just appreciate it while playing the game at the moment. That is all there is to it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you're absolutely right. You'll catch yourself. You'll catch that moment again when you'll go, oh, wow, I forgot how beautiful this game was because I've been so busy trying to make money to pay for all my really expensive Polarises and my Carracks and all the other things to keep them so that I'm not in debt because I accidentally hit the button that activated them on the day one. No!
Get an SC credit card, you'll be fine.
Yes, exactly.
One of the questions that
you laugh now. You laugh when they do it.
Was they finally kind of finalised the physical and legal ownership within 3.0. They finally kind of mentioned what it is in 3.0. So the legal is what obviously you've purchased or within the game you've purchased in the game. So you've bought it from the kiosk. You own legal ownership of that. So I've bought myself obviously a Dragonfly. This is the example they give. So Madness came along and stole my Dragonfly,
bastard,
and put it inside his Cutlass Black.
You were the pirate.
He then owns the physical part of that of my Dragonfly. As long as he keeps it in his Cutlass and doesn't land it anywhere else apart from one of his ships, it's fine. He keeps it as his. When I can then claim it back. So then technically in 3.0, there's 2 versions of that Dragonfly because I've claimed my legal version back. He can't then claim insurance on it because he doesn't legally own it because it's like on search because it's been stolen. So he can fly it as long as many time as he wants. Obviously, the game's crashing, so it will disappear at some places. Yeah. But as long as the game runs smoothly, he can keep that Dragonfly. But the moment he lands on a station with it, it'll disappear.
I thought they clarified that ages ago. When
but then it was one of those questions.
Pretty clarified. Legal is you own it, and
and it was one of those questions.
You physically got it.
It was one of those questions that people still didn't understand.
It's like someone today in chat asked, "How do you do F5?"
I said hold all F4.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those questions that it's pretty self-explanatory. How do you legally own something?
But the way they did it this time around, the way they actually explained it this time, they actually had a way of explaining it by using gameplay. Like before, people just didn't understand what they were on about. But now they've I did, but someone obviously didn't, and a lot of people didn't because they voted this question up to the top.
What's the difference then between physical and legal? Can you tell us?
Yes, I've just told you. Shut up.
Physically own it.
There was also questions about.
What if you physically, legally own it? Or what if you legally own it but don't physically own it?
What if you give someone else legal ownership and then you steal it?
You can't do that yet. You can't give anyone legal ownership of anything.
I could.
Unless you give some
empty can of Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
But they will do eventually. Eventually,
he legally owns it because I allowed
it. It's a verbal contract.
What I'm always interested in, what I was very interested in when they first talked about this stuff, it does give you a bit of a headache, but it was like, you know, at some point, if someone's stolen goods from you, the point that the person claims on it, that at that point the goods, I wasn't sure if it then becomes the ownership of the person that stole it, or if by the math it still is kind of owned by the other person. Yeah, physically, but the math of the item is still in the computer, is still owned by the person that originally had it, as far as I can tell. I think it's still,
it's going to reset, and then you will no longer physically own that ship that they have. Sorry, legally own that ship that they have, because you have now spawned
physically or legally?
Physically legally.
No, I know what you mean. In terms of, but I'm thinking just coding. I'm just thinking like I'm not thinking legally and all that shit. I'm just thinking purely on a number coding system, like the way that they kind of like would probably do that type of information, I'm guessing it would still always be the person that first ever created it, like 01, whatever your account number would be. It's still always there, but maybe it has like a mark to indicate that it's now no longer in your possession, and it's then moved on to somebody else, and you've claimed it, but it'll always have that initial, so that they'll be able to track stuff. Because at the end of the day, CIG want to track ships. Because
I'm not sure whether you're ever going to be able to nick something and then legally claim it. It's always
you can't legally own it.
If you've stolen it, no, yeah, but eventually they might be able to do trade that you can trade a ship.
No, I think I mean you might be able to trade it or sell it, but I don't think. But what happens if you steal something and you physically own it, and then you give it to somebody else, and you say, "Now yours.
This is yours."
And then the next thing you know, they get arrested.
Well, it'll flag up, wouldn't it?
Do you reckon you'd be able to scratch the engine numbers off so you can get make a chop shop? And,
I don't think they'll ever let you do that. No.
But I know, like, you'll always be able to find, like, if you, as soon as that person who got that ship stolen, who has legal ownership of it, files a claim, he then loses legal ownership of it. If you don't file that claim, you can potentially go out and retake that ship back.
Well, they're saying that and currently, obviously, it might change further down the line, but they're saying that if you claim the ship, yes, you get another version, you get your version of that ship back, but the other person's got a double, but it still hasn't. It's still your ship. So the moment that person lands anywhere other than the ship that he stole it in, it will disappear because it will be back to the original owner.
I'm going to say 42 on
I didn't think there was magic in this game. So you're telling me it magically disappear?
Well, like, at the moment, like, your ships randomly disappear because you've spent too long. You know, you're a wizard, Harry. Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. That's my stupid impression. That was
the worst impression.
Yeah, I know. That was one of my worst.
I thought you just got a potato stuck in your throat.
Yeah, you know. There was plenty of questions about the Aurora, like the cargo at the moment, the cargo system for the Aurora. Yeah, you can load cargo into it, but you cannot see it.
Can someone please clip that so that I can use it back on him all the time?
Yeah, you know, I was trying to do Snape, you know, that was terrible.
That was Snape, was it? Oh my days.
All right. It's Leviosa.
Trying to do Dobby.
I thought it was a bit of a Dobby mixed with a cripple.
With a Dobby?
Oh, God, a crippled Dobby.
And for that reason,
Dobby! Naughty.
You're fired.
Yes.
I can go into Christopher Walken if you want. No.
Dobby that's been Dobby dying. Dying.
That's
Dobby.
what I can do. Yeah.
I thought it was a dying Dobby. I honestly did.
So yeah, basically the Aurora doesn't have its store box at the moment, so you have an automated amount of
It'll
be
the
amount
there.
Of storage you have, but you can't physically see that.
It's like in a little pod. It's like you can't.
In your bed. You try and crawl in your bed, and you're like, "What the hell is this?"
And then somebody asked this stupid question, like, "Can I carry? Is there ever going to be an animation where you can carry crates up a ladder?" No.
Well, they said
can you do it now?
They didn't say they look into it. They just said no.
No, they said currently you can't, but they're going to speak to Stephen Bender.
I'm
sorry. Who's the lead animation guy.
I'm sorry, but I've seen African women do amazing things with cargo on their heads. So
yeah, on your head.
Cargo, is it?
Yeah, but
dude, have you seen what they carry? I'm getting a picture. I'm getting a bit. Seriously, it's cargo.
What do you do for a living? I'm a cargo hauler.
And I'm on my way to get some water while I'm hauling cargo.
Transport water. No, they said they'll look into a method, but you can throw boxes. So you say, "Someone, you go up there to the top, and I'll throw it up to you." Yeah, and if it's the one with the C4 in, you're fucked.
Bounces everywhere.
If that's not cargo, hang on, where is it? That's cargo. That's heavy cargo.
Called bananas.
That's transporting goods on her head, and she can climb stairs, I'm sure. And I've seen a guy lifting, like in India, I've seen a guy lifting a car or some ridiculously huge thing with his head and stuff onto trains.
He's a world record breaker.
It's a world record.
It's a world record breaker.
It's a world record breaker.
I saw a podcast.
It's Christopher Ross is on the channel.
Then there was a couple of more questions left. One of the questions was, can cargo be destroyed? Yes and no. So basically,
on my head, please.
if you filled up your guys, come on. If you filled up your cargo full of if you filled your ship full up with cargo, and then it gets destroyed, and what it will do is some of that will be taken away, and then you'll have a smaller amount. And they did say eventually as well. This is what I find funny as well. So
it's our new career, boys. We're going to be new cargo haulers.
They did say in later patches when they bring out the bigger crates, they said once you blow up a ship, somehow that bigger crate will blow up into tiny, smaller crates. For the time being,
you're relaying this information fucking terribly.
I know. This is what they were saying.
They said, right, because we have those small, like, quarter-sized boxes, when your ship blows up, those boxes will just disperse into space because the ship is blown up. The bigger boxes, for now, will turn into
like I said, until they get it. That's what I just said.
Just like you said.
Yes.
Just like you said, but in a much more, like, 10-worded frame, rather than...
Those bigger boxes will explode into smaller boxes.
We'll go into smaller boxes, and then you just said it wrong, and you didn't even let me finish. I said for the now, for the time being, until, whatever.
Bigger boxes will...
This is what happens, guys, right? Whenever it comes to my part to kind of bring some up, these guys trolled the fuck out of me because my English is terrible.
You've gone through the whole lot. This is only just started.
And
I know. The last question.
To be fair, I haven't criticised you too much. My eyes have been rolling to the back of my head through the last section, to be honest, but it's fine. Carry on. You go.
Like I normally do on everything else,
It's all good.
When you talk.
Exactly. I've just been repaying the favour.
The last question was, this was quite funny because he didn't really have a clue what the answer was. He said yes, no. With the hangar, do you know what I'm on about, back when they said that if you put cargo in the PU into your ship and then you load into the hangar, will the cargo be there?
He did the video last week. Yeah, carry on.
I did, yeah. Just old news. He said it's because the PU and the hangar are completely separate entities. So, it won't spawn with the cargo inside the ship because it's not the PU. The cargo doesn't exist in the hangar because it's not part of the hangar.
Not yet, though.
There's no physical item.
No, I mean,
I hope
they
link
things.
I hope they
once
link.
hangars are in the game, they will,
Yeah, I hope
but at the moment, hangars aren't in the PU, are they? So it'll eventually...
They want subtitles for me. Oh, God.
Do you know what? Hang on. I could probably try something.
Yeah, my accents are mixed, guys. So I apologise. I'm kind of like London,
and he's eating his microphone every time he talks. It's
it looks like I am, but I really am not.
But I'm very impressed, though, because you have actually done a really good job of actually doing something this week, which was great. Of actually adding some wicked content. So I was really impressed with you this week. So
wicked.
I had it all last week as well, but it was all written down in Notepad. This time I put it in Google. It's spreadsheets.
Google.
Shaved you, fuck. Wow.
That was the best impression you've ever done.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to stop.
Is that your section over?
Yes, that's all the questions. They said. There was one other, but I can't remember what it was now. It was pointless.
I can share my document.
Pointless is a game show where you can earn money.
I ain't gonna. No, can't be bothered. It was rhetorical. It was like, no, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, are we?
What's that? Oh, what? Did you get the question that I missed?
Well, there was a few. There was just stuff about like boxes spawning at wreck sites. Will it just constantly respawn there again? Because obviously people will just camp those wreck sites and keep going back and forth for the cargo. If a wreck site has been cleaned of cargo, it will no longer have cargo there until someone goes and puts some more there.
Is it going to be so? You have to look, once they've been picked clean, then that means nothing would come back, or is it that say there's like 10 boxes spread over the wrecks, and then when they get picked up, another 10 spawn in different wrecks, and they just there's always 10 available, but they go to.
I don't. They said it's going to be based on how often, like how much of the current wrecks are found anyway. So if we find all of them quite quickly, then they'll be like, right, well, we'll spawn a little, because over time, more wrecks could appear because people, like we've seen our flying, so technically, you know, things will happen. But yeah, if you clear a whole ship of cargo, there will no longer be cargo there.
I mean, that makes sense, but it means you'd never. Some wrecks will just. I mean, what they could do, I suppose, is that once those wrecks have been looted and like all the salvage is done, that wreck could just fade away over time.
I mean, yeah, if someone took a reclaimer down to it,
because it would make more sense than because otherwise, if you just left it empty, you'll just have wrecks everywhere, and eventually people will pick everything dry, and you'll never discover any more wrecks that's got anything on it. I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see how they handle it.
Right, guys. I think unless there's anything else anyone wants to talk to, I'm thinking we maybe start to go to some questions. So, guys, if you want to, please use the link. You'll get priority over people that ask questions in chat with the brackets question. But we will go to the questions. I am copying people with questions and brackets into the Discord so that we will go through those if obviously we don't have enough questions. But the link is better because obviously we can go through the link easier one at a time. But it all depends on how many questions and how many people want to engage with us this evening. You know, I understand if you know, it's Monday night and stuff.
Okay. Question numero uno is from Triangulus 734, which is very important at 734. I'm sure it makes it into a triangle. Asks everyone how much RAM VRAM is 3.0 using.
How much recommended RAM?
Oh, that's
16.84.
That was a good question. My RAM was like through the roof, I think, at one point when I was playing.
My CPU keeps going through the roof at the moment.
CPU is through the roof. My GPU was through the roof. My data was through the roof.
You need to get a better roof.
It's a brand new computer. It's a brand new computer, but
no, it's gone through it.
I think when I looked, I was using like 7 gig of RAM. So having 8 gig is not recommended. I would say, and like a minimum would be 16 to be safe.
I think that's what he's asking mostly, and I would say
I've got 16 on mine at the moment.
I've got 32,
and I need to upgrade it because I think just to be safe as well. I think I'm thinking the next patch.
But even if it's using like 16 or more, that's probably more of a bug. But I think
it should be.
You're looking at a safer point that's 16.
No, the RAM was like what you were saying, Mac, around about the same sort of number. It was the it's the CPU and the GPU, which was like, you know, but that's because I was streaming at the same time. So I'm looking at it going, right, I need to get a separate computer to stream on because the CPU requirements for at the moment are pretty heavy.
Yeah, no, I'm
for Star Citizen.
The same thing.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, no, I think with when I have OBS running and the game, 100% is what I'm getting on my task manager, and it's just like
it's not helping. It's definitely not helping. That's for sure for the stream. So I'm gonna just like, well, if I want to stream Star Citizen, I need to, I think, do a dual setup.
I mean, that'll change because 2.6 it uses about 3%. Well, like my CPU is like 3%. I don't know what my RAM is, but it's not that high.
And don't forget, there will be a lot more optimizing coming down the road anyway. So we don't really want to jump a gun and go spending another few hundred on a streaming PC. And then
no, I wouldn't say to anybody here.
Don't do it to me.
Oh, go and buy it. No, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm in a position where I had an old computer that's just sat here from previously before I bought the new one. So I'm like, well, I may as well utilize it. So rather than just let it just sit here doing nothing. So I can use it for that. But I wouldn't say to anyone just to go straight out and do that. Sure, hell no.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is from Mr. Edison Trent. And he asks, are you all happy about how CIG seems to be fucking up the latest ATVs? Nicely put there, Edison.
Fucking up is kind of a bit open. I'd like to know a bit more in terms of exactly what you mean, what the details of what you don't like, rather than just fucking up, because fucking up is so general.
Maybe they shouldn't have called them ATV. Maybe they should have just called them special shows.
Do you mean like in terms of the new one, the ship ones, or do you mean the ATVs as in just the last couple ATVs because they've been so contentless?
Current ATVs. I think the fact is they are obviously working on getting 3.0 out, and that's why we haven't seen the good stuff from the studio reports. The burn down is kind of cool, but once 3.0 comes out, it's unnecessary. So it'll go back to the reports of the studios, which I am looking forward to. The other aspects to ATV have actually been all right. I've just found, like, obviously this week's was boring.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was a background, wasn't it? It was like a thing you'd see on a DVD in the background.
But we've been doing the podcast every week, and we've had stuff to talk about. And some have had more stuff than others, but I wouldn't say they were fucking it up. I think there's a limit to what they obviously they're all concentrating on making 3.0. So to try and get people to show off different aspects of the game, like they don't. What are you expecting to see in the ATVs? You know, like the ship pipeline, they're waiting for things like this so they can show off the new updates. Like there's clearly stuff that hasn't got updates. There's clearly stuff they're working on, which is Squadron 42, which they're not going to show you. We had stuff being waited for Gamescom. You know, Citizen Contrary. They keep hiding things so they can do show offs, I suppose.
Yeah, and don't forget, Citizens of the Stars had the cargo thing, which was
that's going to be
not ATV,
thing, isn't it?
and that was wicked.
Citizens of the Stars,
It was random, wasn't it? It was random.
It was random, and it was good.
Random. That's the sort of thing you would have expected them to keep into ATV.
I think they will keep doing it though, because they did say they need to name that segment now because it's a new feature, isn't it?
Because they may as well rename it because it was Citizens of the Stars, and right from day one they gave 2 minutes to the Citizen, and then the rest of it was bullshit on other stuff.
Yeah, at least
don't name it.
Focused.
Don't name it on fucking Citizens of the Stars and then show them for 2 minutes and have 20 minutes about something else. It was a stupid type. They basically heard what me and Mac were doing and thought we're going to nick that, and then they didn't do it.
And then make it bad.
Motherfucker.
There's
However, saying all that salt that you just threw at the screen, I genuinely.
Salt. Generally bad.
If that wasn't salty, but I was genuinely quite happy. I was quite nice to see it, you know, and it was a nice little surprise. And I agree with what you're saying. I don't disagree with you. I think you're absolutely spot on. It was nice to see it, and I do think if we were to say not to fuck up, if they dropped that in ATV, I think people would have been less salty about the ATVs over the last 2 weeks because of that being in there, rather than just being like, hey, guess what, guys? Here's the background stuff. So they could have saved themselves a little bit of thing, on ATV, but the ship ATV stuff has been excellent.
Yeah, it's been quite nice little kind of short kind of videos and really going into it. Yeah, it's good.
I think the Grand Tour thing, I think they've realised is kind of a bit gimmicky, and they're probably doing a little bit less. And I wouldn't be surprised if we end up not doing the Grand Tour thing anymore. I don't know about you guys. I think that seems a bit. It was like a really good idea last year when
it's cheesy. But I guess that's some novelty of it. Yeah, I liked it.
They've seen, but
they didn't visit that place.
They didn't go deep on it this time, though. They kind of shied away from it a bit. You know what I mean?
That's what I think it is. It's you're taking time and resources to get someone to do something that looks pretty when really that's all you get. People are going to complain that why are you wasting time on making. There's the same reason they said they weren't doing ship adverts anymore, because it's a resource that they don't need to waste time and money on at the moment.
Okay. Do you know, sorry, going.
I liked it.
Going back to the ATV thing, I think what's happened really is that we've been spoilt in the past with the studio reports that are really fun and exciting to see the updates, like the ships and stuff. And so when they do something that isn't as exciting, it just appears a bit shit. But it's not. It's actually really decent stuff. But we have been spoilt with cool footage and things. Maybe.
I was going to say the other thing is you have to remember is that Squadron 42 they're working on in the background for the to show us before Christmas for the holiday. So that's probably taking a bit of time as well. So let's not, they've got a lot of pies or whatever. What's the term? Irons in the fire or whatever. Fingers in the pies, irons in the fire. There's a lot of things going on, and I think
a lot of pies in their eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that I'm happy to give them a little bit of a break over the last 2 weeks, Edison. But I hear what you're saying. If it continues, then yeah, I'll be well and truly behind you to say, come on, I want to get now 3.0.
Make our fucked up ATV.
Come on, let's get our studio reports back again, please.
Let's move on from that anyway.
Yeah, next question.
He's done another one, which is pretty much the same.
Okay, move on.
Your question, but I'll read it anyway. So Edison said, I'm kind of disappointed in the last two shows from CryEngine. Like, they showed no new images of the Banning Merchantman.
Oh, okay.
The Origin one was pretty much, look, we did not listen to the community at all. Still fucked up the Origin 600. Also, the 890 jump is now a hotel instead of what we really sold you.
Okay.
Well,
that's interesting. At least that's a bit more.
Banning Merchantman, I feel like they can't show you if they haven't done it.
No, that's it. They're showing us what they have.
Yeah.
Get being disappointed, but they want to. I said this to, I think, was it Soul or that was Soul made a good point every time when he was on here. Like he owns the Banu Merchantman, and I think someone else I was talking to said that they were disappointed when they first saw that it was in concept. And then I said to them, like, and same as repeating what Soul does, is that in some ways you should be grateful because the longer they leave designing your ship, the better it's going to be. Because they'll work out all the other mechanics. They know all the the way they want it to look. How they're going to get components that are working. They're not going to have to then rework it next week because they forgot about the height of an alien coming in the door or whatever. So there is an element that the longer they take to do it, the more they can learn. That they're going to finish the technology off. And the Banu is such a key one as well because it's technology and a look of an alien race where they haven't even fleshed out the alien race. So to make a ship based on an alien race when they haven't even done the alien race itself, it's very difficult. And I think that's why they're kind of holding off because they need to be working on the alien race alongside to get that aesthetics into it. Otherwise, you're just going to get a ship that might look nothing like the race. Like now,
they'll have to change it again later on.
Yeah, we've seen a big update on the Jan stuff, and now they've come out and you've seen how much they've redone the Jan and the language and the look of the Jan. And if we have the same for the Banu, they need to. Yeah, so I think that's why it's holding off. So you don't just want them to make something too quickly, basically. But that's my opinion. And
well said.
I don't know how they fucked up the Origin 600.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I have, but I don't. It's nothing's different to what they.
I would wait, Edison, until we've actually got a more substantial bit of content to see of both ships, because it's really hard to tell at the moment what they're doing with the ships when it's such an early push. I've got some paint on my arm.
Yeah, I've been looking at that all the fucking podcast.
Okay.
I keep looking and thinking, what is that on here?
It's paint, honest.
He says, "Oh God!"
Someone putting spam in chat madness. You want to ban that person?
What's that?
Who?
Who's that? Who am I banning?
Yeah, Alina Bailo. They just put it in chat.
What is it? Is it a penis?
I don't know. I'm not clicking it because they said don't click it.
Don't click the penis.
Don't click that link.
Might be a penis.
Might be my.
What's the next question?
Oh, someone ban them, please, if they're dicking around in my chat, please. I'll something or other. Yeah, thank you. I don't know how that got through. It shouldn't have got through.
Power.
You should be able to put any. You should be able to put any.
You're going to
links.
post links like ours beforehand. You don't need to, but just.
Oh, because I changed. Oh, do you know what? I changed it, Miz, because Miz was saying I should change it.
Yeah, because overall you don't get anything like that. But you got to.
That's actually, to be fair, that I've never had anyone post any problems in my links. It's quite disappointing. Normally, I'd have no problems because and that's the first time anyone has ever posted anything.
You can whitelist certain. You can whitelist certain huge links and. Okay. Anyways,
never mind. Don't worry. It's all part of learning.
Ban everything apart from what you want.
Yeah,
I've had some person trying to randomly promote test in my stream.
Basically, don't click links in chat.
Yeah, please don't, unless it's relevant to what we're talking about, or Star Citizen, or a question, or something cool. But don't put. Otherwise,
I stream as well. You know,
you'll just get banned. I don't want. The truth is, I don't want to ban you, but don't be a dick. Come on, I don't want to ban you though. That's the reality. I like all people, trolls, whatever. I don't care. I just don't be a dick.
I like me some trolls.
You don't discriminate against trolls.
I'm the biggest salty person here, and I'm not a Kool-Aid person either.
Nice.
So,
next question.
I'm going for it. Next question.
Next question is Mr. Phantom Killer, and he says, "Have you guys been checking if they fixed the killer ladders? And the reason the Cutlass will eventually go up in price is because it's raised its value by simply getting rid of the infamous Drake disease-ridden toilets."
They were ridden.
So that's exactly why it's gone up in value.
That's it. It's all that. It's just to do the toilets. Absolutely.
Got rid of the
100%.
toilets. They were so rank that they just got rid of them, and it's like, yeah, we'll put the price up now.
True,
it's now a posh ship.
Bigger in
Before
size.
it was a shithole. Now it's a posh ship.
Twitch turbo bypasses. Oh, okay, cool.
It's got bigger in size, but it's lost the toilet.
Yeah, go figure.
So what was just remind me again? So the first question, the first part of the question, because I got distracted by the character.
Oh, but the ladders being fixed.
Have they
So the
fixed
ladders. I don't think so.
No, they haven't.
The Aquila is really buggy, if I'm being honest. I've got in it, and it's not like the Constellation was, like, you know, the standard one.
It's hard to get out of it without dying or falling into a planet.
Yeah.
Really buggy.
We ended up crash landing on it the other day on a planet in the Aquila, and then when I got out, I got bugged on this ladder, so I managed to jump myself off. But then I landed on the cargo bit was open. As soon as I stepped on the moon, I fell through it. I was like, no.
Yeah, the Aquila's a mess.
Yes,
but it's all
a lot of them are. But there we are.
Yeah. Worked on.
Okay, next question is from Phantom Killer again, and he says, have you tried the old PI mission? It's changed and they've added rooms. I haven't been in the game long enough. I keep getting kicked out, so I can't. Missions just don't work for me. But that's cool if they've changed it a little bit. No,
they've added rooms?
Apparently.
I think the early missions I've done is the escort mission, which is amazing.
Yeah.
When you actually escort a Connie, that is dramatic.
That's not the escort I was thinking then, Dan.
Oh, yeah, wrong mission. You want to try the one at Grim X?
Yeah.
Hey, boys.
Has anyone done that mission?
Superstar DJs. Here we go.
I'll take it. None of us have. So, okay. We'll look into that one. Sounds cool.
I was there.
Next question is from Der Bommel, and he says, don't you think they should alter the icon of POIs in a way that they would be dotted lines when they are on the other side of the planet? Or yes, it could do, definitely. I mean, I think the UI is still work in progress, but yeah.
You're like, I'm about 800 kilometers. Slam.
Well, we did that. We did that earlier, didn't we? Yeah. We did that. For anyone that's just joined us in the stream, if you have just joined us, we did at the beginning of the stream. We did a live. All four of us got into 3.0. We managed to get into an instance together. We managed to get on board a Cutlass. We managed to fly to Daymar. We managed to land.
We didn't land. We crashed.
We crash landed. To be fair,
we bounced.
We did bounce a bit. Yeah, but that was
good job.
But we did land. We got out.
I shot Miz in the face.
You shot Miz in the face. I crashed out. Matt got run over by Miz initially, which was quite funny.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So if you didn't check it out,
I'm coming back for you, Matt.
Come check out the video tomorrow. We'll upload it on YouTube and stuff. Definitely watch the first half an hour of the show. Will be well worth watching, I think, just to catch up on the shenanigans that was at the beginning, because it was good to go in and to kind of mess around with 3.0. Sorry, I took over them. What's the what was the question? Sorry.
What did you have for tea? Was the question?
Sorry. What did I have for tea?
No, I want the question.
That's a good question, though. It's a good question.
Just basically, do you think the point of interest icons should be different if they're blocked? See, they say blocked in some things,
on the other side of a planet.
So could you think of it like, so if you actually locking on one of them, so if you locked in a position that you wanted to go to, and obviously at the moment still it doesn't show that it's on the other side, but make it so like you have some kind of track that goes like shows like it's bending around slightly the moon, like just like a slightly green line that shows you that it's bending around the ones you've locked on.
So lost. What are you saying?
Jay Lee got his car nicked. See, this is what happens when you don't have a lock on things. You know.
Oh god. Yeah.
No, that's really sad. I hope it wasn't too expensive a car.
Shit. I didn't even realise. I just scrolled down in chat. I didn't realise there was all this chat here.
There's lots of chat.
There's loads of chat. Just like, why is nobody commenting?
That sucks. There's nothing worse. I mean, people nicking shit. I had that. People nick my bike and stuff. And you come out of the shop and you look and you just go, "What a cunt!" It's the first thing that comes out of your mind. You just think, "Come on, seriously." I do apologise for my incredible French, but that was awful. It's awful. Like the worst thing in the world is when people nick your shit.
Okay, next.
When you nick Dash.
To be honest, that's not the worst thing in the world. You know, I mean, like AIDS is quite bad. Things like cancer.
Cancer's pretty bad.
Next question.
Right. That's pretty bad. Let's not go there though, Mac.
It's for everybody, but it's more for Madness, and it's from Kogu. Okay. And he says, Gladius, pros and cons on the performance of the ship compared to other ships in its class. Now, don't mention the HUD. Just the performance of
you just mentioned it.
No, I'm telling him not to mention it. I'm just telling him to
go. No, but that is a pro and a con. I can't ignore the fact that you're blinded by the glare and that you have the canopy is kind of got the glare. That's a con for me. The glare. The pros, no question. It's now got size 3s. No question. Its firepower is that of similar to a Hornet. with a bull turret on. It's got huge DPS by its standard for what is a small light fighter. So DPS wise, very, very good. I'm curious. I haven't been able to fly it the way I want to fly it yet because, like I said, I haven't been into the game enough time because it's just not stable enough to me enjoy. Once the game is more stable, I'm looking forward to really starting to get more into depth in terms of the mechanics of dogfighting and the ships. I'm going to probably go into Arena Commander with my friends and probably get back into Arena Commander a hell of a lot more then, because there's just no dogfighting in the PU. The PU is going to be just for messing around, and the Arena Commander is going to be really to just grind out and see what ships and go back to what I used to do in 2.5, which is fine. I won't be the champ by any means in Arena Commander. There's no question. Arena Commander, there's a lot of people there who are far better than me, but I look forward to competing and trying to get as good as I can. And I'll have to get dual sticks and stuff. But in terms of the Gladius, the firepower, sure. We need to see what I can't answer you 100%, but I need to see what the fuel is like and the burnout of the fuel is to be able to see how much that's improved or if it's worse or better. Because obviously once you run out of fuel, as far as someone was telling me in Arena Commander, once you burn out of fuel in Arena Commander, you're dead. So all those people in Arena Commander who are used to just burning their fuel and being able to get their fuel back again, like from what Jester was telling me today, is like literally just dropping out. You've run out of fuel. So fuel management is obviously super important. The Gladius is notoriously bad. Let's wait and see. Okay, so very positive on the armaments though. Very positive.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Positivity.
Sorry, that was a bit of a quick.
That wasn't quick. The next question is from Tom Reckoner, and he says, when a player gets injured enough to lose consciousness, do you think we will actually see an NPC EMT collecting their body? How quickly should we appear in the hospital after an incident?
I guess it could be similar to what they do with the bounty hunters, isn't it? If you get caught, then your character will just appear in hospital. It all depends on the medic mechanic, doesn't it? If you're downed, there must be a downed period where you see nothing and you can't hear anything because you're out of it. Otherwise,
here's my thing on this one, Mac. Is like there's two ways of looking at this. I'm going to tell you that when you go to sleep and you close your eyes, you go fast asleep and you wake up, no time has passed because you've asleep. So if you've passed out and you wake up, you're going to wake up in a bed somewhere. That's just the way it is. You know, it's like you're completely unaware of any time passing. Yeah. When you have a bag put over your head and you're captured and you're stuck in the back of a Hawk, for example, and unless it puts you to sleep, which could be in a feature potentially, it maybe puts you to sleep and you go in and you're sedated and then you wake up at a location. That could be a thing. But otherwise, you effectively, if you're being captured and you're physically aware of time passing. So therefore there's that length. But otherwise, I think that it should be the minute you pass out, whether you wake up in your seat of your cockpit or you wake up in a medical bay, it doesn't matter because you're not aware of time. For me, that's the way.
No, that's true. I think you're right there. I think we've got to see obviously how the medic mechanic will work. Like, because if you get downed, there needs to be a certain time limit, like in the Acre mod where you can be revived.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will lose a life or in that certain regard. So you need someone to come over and patch you up and get you back on your feet. It's like kind of like Battlefield 1, where you can either hold down the button and speed up your health, or your respawn or whatever. But I agree with you. I think it should be quite quick, but you should be allowed to wait, say, 5 minutes while you bleed out or whatever, unless someone comes and patches you up, and then you're back in the action. Otherwise, you lose a man. And there's no point in having a medic on the field. That
is the thing with it being time, but it's time for you passes out, but obviously with other people next to you could potentially revive you and bring you back to the battlefield. So it is interesting though.
You're doing it unless you're near the NPCs that do it as well, though. Like, just come from nowhere to do it.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. It's an interesting thought. I think for the matter of enjoying a game, I would rather it be fairly quickly rather than having to be like, well, I'm just going to put the kettle on.
Back up from loss of consciousness though, rather than it's like you were killed, like you go in the hospital if you're like killed sort of thing. But if you just
loss of consciousness is different. Being shot and being revived is another thing, but being headshotted, you lose a life. You will wake up in a hospital bed or the nearest hospital bed. So there are different.
Plate.
It depends on the damage, passing out.
There's a lot to flesh out in medic.
Yes,
and I think if I was a medic, I would want to be able to revive people, like throw smoke down, drag them out of the place, and then go through some sort of mechanic, like we see with mining in that sense, where you can patch them up, and you've got to do certain actions to bring them back up, depending on the actual.
I think a lot of
their life is actually in your hands.
I think a lot of the mechanics will like a lot of the gameplay will be involving with NPCs and stuff. I will certainly be excited to see if, like, you know, if you had like the heads-up display if you're a medic, and it would scan say for example you're on a battlefield and lots of people you know, floating in space or whatever, and your heads-up display can indicate the state of damage either your NPC or your human is at, maybe through color or whatever. So, you know, it's blacked out, they're dead, they're gone, there's no point. Maybe, you know, it shows you the red indicating that this person's critical, yellow, this person's maybe it'd be like the similar sort of damage state of the ship currently. Or they could do a more advanced version to indicate the areas that are damaged as well as you get nearer. So I'd love them to really get into depth with the whole medical kind of side of things.
I know we've had a little post about the different medical equipment we'll be able to use, but that was a long while ago, and I would love to see an update. I mean, we've seen the drag, we know that's going to be and like with any mechanic they do create, it's going to be skill based, and quite involving, and for a medic you will want to have quite a lot of responsibility, to be honest. So
I think I said that before. You're gonna have that operation game, so you're gonna have to cut someone open.
Yeah.
Put the kidneys.
Oh damn!
Oh crap!
I like Chris's response. You wake up 6 years later with a bladder problem. Impotent. Oh god!
But it's like the Starliner. You're gonna have an onboard doctor who will have to assess illnesses of NPCs. And potentially we could see players having a cough or getting an illness from somewhere. I mean, the Starliner really takes everything a bit too far. But if that's the case, being able to diagnose
these things are going to be like mini games, and
yes,
what is your opinion on them? Do you think that we should have mini games or not?
I think so. I think because it's otherwise you're just using a stat that you've built up from doing something over and over again, and it's not going to be like that. It's going to be, if you have the ability, you'll be the one that succeeds at that. So people will.
They want it something to be a skill that you learn from. Then the more you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want it because I want it. Say for example, you're on a carrack. And I've got a doctor NPC or a doctor person, someone who's generally a medic, and we go on it. We find a planet. We've never been on this planet before. We don't know the situation. I want to have that experience where you have to, if someone suddenly catches a quarantine bug, you have to, evacuate, get back to the carrack. Everyone gets scanned. The doctor then has like a kind of a role. He has to clean everyone, quarantine everyone, make sure everyone's fight a virus, do a game mechanic. For him, it would be super exciting. Nervous for me because I'm sat there going, holy fuck, am I going to die? And you're like relying and you're putting pressure. Imagine your mates doing it. You're like, you better fucking heal me, dude. Come on, Jesus Christ, this is my last life, and this character's going to die. You've got my character here. Come on, fucking heal me, man. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, exactly. He's like, relax, man. No problem.
And this is what I was saying last week about the role play that will come in. You're going to be forced to role play in some kind of way.
Let me just take your clothes off.
Yeah. The music.
You can leave your hat on.
Jeez, honestly.
Righto, next.
Right back where we started. Right back to Texas. The Texas, yeah. Right, next question.
What are you looking for? This is by Drewski. Drewski. What are you looking forward to be fixed in 3.0 immediately? Nothing, because we haven't got a patch till tomorrow now. No, I'm just kidding.
Immediately.
Just being able to actually land, get out your ship. That's just the basics. I want the basics to be smooth, and
I think just stop crashing every 20 minutes.
For me,
to be able to have a decent level of game first.
Yeah, just faster loading in for me at the moment.
Well, I can accept the loading in and even the FPS drop. Is like the fact that it keeps kicking you out. Like,
or just give me a screen. A loading screen picture like we did before. The black screen is doing my head in. Just give us before at least
it's that unknown thought of maybe I won't get in. Maybe I will. Have I crashed or not? And when you're streaming, you're just like.
There's one little bug that annoys me that I really would like to get fixed, and that's just when you change, like when you just put a med pin on your trousers or you put a gun on, it takes your helmet off and you start to suffocate.
Oh. I never had that.
Yeah, that is.
I have yet to have that one.
Don't put a med pen on your leg then.
I haven't played enough yet.
It's just like
I really want this med pen.
I'm dying. I'm dying. Now I'm suffocating.
That was worth sticking on my leg.
Like,
that's not really.
And like if you And if you
don't worry,
don't
worry. I don't worry. I have the answer.
Out, it does the same.
It's when you come back out and you've got no head and no clothes. It is.
That is a bit.
Some people have got an eyeball.
That's just a regular Saturday night for me, Mac.
That was a good night.
Yeah. Next question is Avatar Chris.
Next question.
Madness. When are you buying me a beer?
Oh, when I next see you, buddy. Oh yes. If you go to the Bar Citizen in London again, mate, there's a beer coming. I owe everyone a beer at Bar Citizen. I think I haven't bought a beer. I keep disappearing before I have to buy a round. So I keep telling them, they're really nice. Like I keep saying to them, I'll buy the round, but they keep buying me the rounds.
You just hid in the toilets. They're going to buy me a round in a minute. They're going to buy me.
So it's my round next time, guys. So yes, come down to next Bar Citizen in London. I'm not sure when it is. I'll post it up at some point. Come down. I will. Go there. So come and say hi. If you live in London, we want to try and make it a bit more lively and exciting. I know there's probably mostly Americans in here right now, but hey, just jump on a plane, come and say hi.
Make sure you book a ticket first, and then go back.
Yes, just jump on any plane. It's fine.
Buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket.
And maybe one that goes to the UK as well.
Yes.
Wow, look at us. Check out the English people kind of like, completely thinking Americans are really stupid and don't know how to do stuff. Outrageous, guys. Come on.
Speak for yourself. Don't bring us all in the same group.
Oh, it's like that. We've got next question.
Is from Drewski, and he says, "What is your suggestion for a capture box / card for your second PC?"
HD 60 Pro, Elgato HD Pro.
60 Pro, internal, external, either.
Internal, always, because you get the latency.
Yeah,
less lag sound.
Always. I've got the Ava Media.
Yeah,
it's more money, but it's worth it, from what I understand. I mean, I've talked.
Well, I will upgrade.
Don't stream. It's not worth it.
Yeah, that as well. But no, it's if you want to do the dual, I think, judging from what I've heard in terms of people who've had the external and then have switched to the internal, they wish they had bought the internal first because of the audio and not having to deal with. I think there's an
external one that's faster, but I bought the slow internal one, external one, because I think I had different windows or something at the time, and the delay is too much. You have to have 2 earphones, which is just pointless. I don't see the point of it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, get the better one.
Or if you're really expensive, go for the 4K one, which is the latest one. The 4K, if you want to do 4K. But I would
get the best one.
The HD Pro is perfectly good. They did actually have a sale on it recently, when I bought mine. So
not now, I think.
Not now, though. Not now. It's full price now. Sadly.
Okay, next question. Hopefully that answered you. Next question is from Dark Medic, and he says, "Why is the Car-2Al the best fighter?" No.
Oh, at the moment, it's the best fighter probably because it's the most stable, maybe. That would be the only thing I can think of. It's garbage by comparison to the others, so no, it's not the best fighter.
Next question is from Dark Medic again. Do you think the Car-2Al will ever get its second seat? No. They took it out for a reason. They're not just going to stick another one back in there.
They might do another another Car-2Al
The Car-2Al is not going to get a second seat.
They might do another ship. Maybe.
But that one is not going to get a second seat.
Oh, it's got one of the most sexiest animations of all the ships. So I would love them to do another sexy animation ship for sure. That's a bit more Winnebago for Miz. You know what I mean? That would be pretty cool. I think that would be quite an exciting ship, a really sexy animated ship that does a really cool thing and is a Winnebago kind of lifestyle, just traveling. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
And it's got anti-crash measures,
It might be an option for Drake on Friday.
Cool. What do you think? What, just a Winnebago, a Drake Winnebago?
Drake ship, yeah.
Drake Winnebago, yes.
Very basic.
I we were talking about on the stream. I was saying, what if we had like a streamliner ship, so you could like a caravan in space to drive everyone crazy. So you could actually attach the hook up to the back. You could hook up to the back of your ship and have a caravan / module, so you could transport it between you and different worlds. I guarantee it would sail. It would sell. People would buy it. So you could hook it up and transport your port. You could port your habitat from one planet to another one. rather than the Pioneer.
Like having a station, isn't it? And then you tow your station away.
Yeah, exactly.
Space station towing.
Exactly. Caravanning, station caravanning, or whatever it is, or caravanning in space. That would be
link it.
CIG right there. There's another idea for you. Another 6 months delay to the next Super.
Just to get the caravan out.
Just to get the caravan in the streamliner or space liner. Oh, that would be great.
So the next question is from Dark Medic again. Someone was on a roll, and he says, "How hyped are you for at the thought of a Xi'an capital ship?"
It is in the vertical. We've seen pictures of one, haven't we? Where it flies like that.
Gee,
and you think, how are you going to land that thing?
To be honest, I don't like human stuff. So,
I don't like human stuff.
I'm more hyped to see their main city, like all the cities. I'd like to see all the home worlds of all the main aliens. That would be
definitely. That'd be awesome.
Super hyped.
Be nice to see the kind of the dark parts of it as well, like the where the pirates.
You like the dark parts, right?
You like
show me your dark parts.
I want to see those dark parts.
I want to see the basements.
Take me down the back of the alley. Where it's nice and dark.
Oh my God.
Take me down the back alley is a different thing in the UK. Totally different thing.
I think it's the same everywhere, to be honest, but that's just me.
It probably is, yeah. It must be Dorset.
Okay. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Bio. Thanks for that insight. My life is complete now.
Okay. Dark Medic again. I mean, does he own a Cutawell by any chance?
No. Ignoring that, but
carry a Nox.
None of you guys are excited for the Xi'an capital ship, or a Xi'an capital ship, or an alien capital, you know?
Might be if I see it. It'd be cool to see, but
any aliens. Well, capital ship's less so in some ways because, like, I'm not going to have one. It's like it's going to be out of my reach and not going to be able to fly one. So it's really interesting to see it, but not hyped as I would a ship that I actually want to own, I suppose.
What?
Yeah.
Xi'an, but you own a Defender now. You bought an alien ship recently.
Not yet. That's tonight. I'm going to own a Defender.
Oh, is it tonight? You're going for the Defender tonight?
When I melt my other ones and fight for 24 hours, I'm going to own a Defender.
You're going to own a Defender. Okay.
But I know that's what I said. I prefer the alien ships. Like for me, when I play like online games and things, I prefer. I always try to play like a race that's not human, or I feel like playing yourself or playing a human is a bit boring when we live our own life. So it's nice to be playing something a bit more imaginative.
Nah, my life's
like
shit. I like to play myself, but be cool.
Play with yourself or play yourself.
Bit of both.
Oh my God. I thought I'd take it into bad places, but you just took it.
You take it down the back alley. You
need to be quiet right now. Seriously.
Your bedtime bio.
I didn't what? I didn't say anything then. It was Miz.
Dude,
you just said you take it in bad places.
Bio. Later, you and me. I'll have a chat with you down a back alley somewhere. Okay, buddy. We'll sort it out.
Madness.
We will sort it out.
Make sure your camera's off.
Microphones on, cameras off.
First, maybe, yeah.
We have.
So that's all the top part.
I've got one question. Got one more question. Pink Citizen asks: is there a keyboard shortcut to place a box or drop it?
Alt F4, I believe, is the.
I'm trying to see if there's anyone else has got brackets. If anyone else has got any brackets, quick. Oh, hang on, we've got one more.
There is shortcuts for like getting in and out of your seat, which is Alt F. If you tap Alt F instead of going through the whole,
you got to hold it down
F and looking round.
The actual boxes are
tap it or do you hold it?
You hold Alt and then I think tap F should do it, but sometimes you might have to. Like,
yeah, you just press Alt and then you press F. Hold down Alt and you press F. That's it.
Okay.
Just said.
I know, but he was saying, and I was just you would kind of not too sure, but yeah.
I was perfectly sure.
I was not just clarifying.
Perfectly sure of what I was saying. Thanks.
And the box animation is bugged, so you have to just go to get a gun out, and then it will drop on the floor.
Okay. And then the last question is directly to Miz. But I'm going to give it to everybody. What is your favourite ship?
I haven't got one yet.
We've had this every podcast.
No, I don't keep asking in that respect. It's just that,
every week it might change. We've had the sale up, and things do change. So I see new ships. Things change. So, Miz, you answer it first. Go for it.
Out of the ships that are available.
Last question.
Maybe ask someone else first because I can't remember the other one. So,
okay. I would say, as of today, having seen some stuff, the Terrapin. I really like the Terrapin. It's grown on me.
Cool shit.
I really like it. It's just something. It's got some sort of quirky character about it that I didn't expect. I love the fact that it hunkers down and goes into its shell and kind of creates like a kind of an armor thing, and the anime. It just looks. Yeah, it's just something cool about it. I think it's probably the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in me when I was a kid that never could afford the turtle van. But I don't know. I genuinely. The Terrapin's cool.
I had a turtle van.
I
remember having the actual Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where you could fold the things in and turn them back into little baby turtles.
Oh, I wasn't. I was lucky.
The shell opened up.
That sounds like real turtles, Smith.
Yeah.
That sounds like animal cruelty is all I'm thinking right now. Oh, look, these animals. Yeah.
We're really open.
I had the Michelangelo. I had Michelangelo and Leonardo. That was all my parents could afford.
Shouldn't laugh.
I had that for Christmas. That was it. I had a very poor upbringing.
I always liked Michelangelo. I don't know why.
And I loved them. They were my favorite. They were my favorite.
Do you still have them?
My brother broke almost all of my toys, as younger brothers always do. They get hold of them, and then you just scream to Mom, he's broken my toys. But yeah, I had my favorite toys were my Mask toys. I don't know if anyone knows Mask, but they were my favorite toys, and he broke them.
As in the film?
Mask? No. You probably don't know.
That's what I was thinking he was on about. I was thinking,
MAS, Matt Tracker, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about because I'm 35 and you guys are younger than me. So,
I'm the same age, but
Mask was one of my favorite cartoons. It's literally Mask. MASK. And it said a dot in between, and it was Mass Crusaders. Fighting. I can't remember anyway, but anyway, it was awesome. The toys were incredible. They did like kind of transformed into different things, and Mask was sick. I mean, yeah, sorry, super serious Mask. There you go. See, I knew there'll be somebody about my age that knows what I'm talking about. They were the best toys. In my opinion, no toys have ever matched the level. Unfortunately, they went bankrupt, which was who knew. And they stopped making them, but they were tremendous toys, absolutely tremendous.
I think I may have. I don't think I have toys for it.
Favorite ship, guys?
Sorry, I did slightly go off topic then, but
Mass Crusaders.
Mass Crusaders. Yeah, I should bring up the. Hang on, let me.
They've even got a raven.
Yeah, dude. Mask was like I had loads of toys. I mean, that was what I always asked my parents for, and they blessed them. They were really good and saved hard for them.
I can't say they look like the best toys I've ever seen.
No. I believe my favourite ship is the Polaris.
Yeah, they were.
Wow. I love the Polaris.
What's your best? Because you've changed a bit on your ships that you've liked, haven't you?
Reclaimer. Always.
Miss?
I don't know. I suppose probably not
the
that
question was for you. You're the only one.
I know. I just because I suppose there's not been one that it was originally the Freelancer, and I'm hoping they'll rework it into something that I like. To be honest, because I just feel like it doesn't quite do what I want it to do. So I'm kind of hoping that will get a rework. But for now, I suppose I don't think I'll own one. But the Banu Merchantman still, I think, sounds like a cool ship. The alien one. So I have looking at buying the Defender. Obviously it's not out yet, so I can't try it and see how good it is. But someone was telling me about it, and I read a bit about it, and it's got so it's a 2-man sort of fighting ship, but it's also got 2 beds in it as well, which is kind of cool for making it more usable.
Making love. Sorry.
Making love, so we don't have to share beds like I do with Mac all the time. It's we get our own space.
We don't share beds.
So so yeah. I don't know. Aliens.
Not what I've heard.
It depends on how much we've drunk.
Yeah.
Why go all the way up to that bed?
Given the right circumstances, the right amount of alcohol, any bed
it's
is
always the worst bit when the pants come off. Is look, Max, just sleep in your pants, and then the next thing the pants come off, and it's like, oh, for God's sake.
Sleep in the nude. It's just how I roll.
But you don't do it when you share a room with someone.
Yeah,
I do. I just assume you wouldn't want to look at it, so I know that I'm quite safe because you're
intimidated. He's intimidated. It's like, oh my God.
Liz, what ship did you want to get? The Defender.
Maybe, yeah.
You know it's for sale now, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He's been waiting all day. He's waiting for the missus to go to bed so he can.
Well, no, I've been buying and melting. So at the moment, I own the Banner Merchantman and the Hawk, which I melted everything to buy, and then I melt that again, and then buy.
Smelt them.
So how does it like? That's interesting because like I don't do it because I'm a good boy, and I think that's really weird to do that. But it makes a hell of a lot of sense. And a part of me is kind of going, it kind of people obviously a lot of people do that.
I've never done it. This is like someone. I was CCUing up, and it started off that I was going to look at maybe upgrading my Buccaneer to a Super Hornet because my Buccaneer is quite squishy, and my way of flying and personal thing of being shit means that maybe being a bit more tanky would be helpful. So I was actually going to look for a CCU from a Buck to a Super Hornet, and then someone said to me, "No, you're doing it all wrong. You should melt everything." And then keep rebuying it, and because also you can melt now and rebuy stuff with the 60-month insurance on it when it comes. So, like if you've got anything that's not got LTI and stuff, you can melt it and then rebuy as well. So you can go and get all your ships that you've got now, melt them, rebuy them as long as they haven't gone up in price, and buy them with a 60-month insurance. So there's like that. So they just said melt everything. So I melted everything, and I had like 400 odd. Store credit. I was like, all right, okay, so I'll buy these to buy them back. So I probably won't own them, but it's in case nothing better comes along and I decide all of a sudden I want the Banner Merchantman again. I'll have the buyback token for it, so I can buy it back at the price I just paid.
Here's my question to you though. Like, if you melted, if you have the CCU, you can't melt a CCU though, can you?
For the value. Westbrook. What's that? Sorry.
You can't melt a CCU.
You can, I think. But
it doesn't give you the CCU. You can't buy back a CCU that was a Carrack, you know?
Can. Yeah.
Really?
You can melt and buy back CCUs, I think. Someone said. I haven't checked it yet.
Wow, okay. So I can technically melt my two CCUs.
The problem is my main problem is I've got a Buccaneer, right? And I can't melt it. I can't do anything to it because it's a referral ship. I had the Gladius referral, and then I upgraded it to a Buccaneer, and now it won't even physically will not let me melt it.
Oh, I might do that then. I might melt my CCU. I got two CCUs. I got one for a Cutlass Black and I got one for the Carrack. I might melt them down and buy myself a Defender because I like the Defender as well. I'm quite tempted. Or the Glaive, but supposedly it says you have to complete Vandal Swarm. I've completed Vandal Swarm about 50 fucking times.
Well, I had done it, but apparently it now doesn't count because you have to complete Vandal Swarm. Something, so again,
that's retarded because it's fucking broken.
It as well, but I like the glaives, and I don't know how they fly, but I do like the looks of them. Again, alien ships.
I only want it because I want the new version of the glaive. I don't want it because I like the new one. The current one is like, yeah, but I want it because I want to have a Vandal ship, and the glaive is obviously the best, like the equivalent of a Saber or a Super Hornet. So it would make a lot of sense to have one. So I can at least get this. I can at least have the buyback token that you talk about. But now I've got to go and I've only got like a couple hours. I have to go and fly the bloody Vandal Swarm for 20 minutes and do it.
No, you've got till the end of the sale. Everything's on sale again.
Oh, is it? Okay. So I could do it tomorrow and then technically get it. All right. So you can buy a CCU for a Gladius Cutlass Black for $10, and then the price jump it.
For the Super Hornet, it's fine because the Super Hornet's probably not going up in price. It's been up a few times and it's been out and released. Whereas the Cutlass, if it goes up in price, you will pay the increased CCU price for the Cutlass.
Okay, so maybe not the Cutlass, but the Carrack one will be okay then.
What I'm going to do by the end of the sale, before the Drake day, I need to buy a Cutlass. I need to physically own a Cutlass because then you can CCU up from the Cutlass at the higher price.
Okay.
So what I might do is upgrade the Hawk to the Cutlass.
Yeah.
So it's got LTI, which that doesn't really matter too much, but it's got LTI. And then when the Cutlass goes up in price on the day it comes out on sale, which it probably will go up in price, it'll be worth the higher value. And then you can use that to CCU whatever the new value is.
Yeah. That makes sense. I was thinking I might CCU up an LTI Dragonfly to a Hawk, or buy a Hawk and then melt it and then you can use that. How does it work though? If you melt an LTI token, you lose the LTI token on the Hawk. You can't buy back the Hawk with the LTI.
You can buy, but you can buy back the Hawk with the LTI token. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. I'm learning a lot here. I hope everyone in chat's learning a lot here. If you didn't know all this stuff, because I'm learning a lot. Right then, anything else, or shall we end it?
That's it.
Okay. All right then. So let's do a little quick roundup. So just remind everyone where we can find you. Miz?
You can find me on Twitch. I'm obviously miserable_G on Twitch. You can find me on there. For this week, I will be doing... Well, I need to speak to Mac, actually, because we're going to do another BritizensCon stream. I'm not sure whether we're going to do it Friday, or the other option is to do the Addicted podcast on Monday. But I'll speak to Mac. So hopefully we'll do another BritizensCon stream soon. If you got the command in your bot?
Yeah,
what's that?
So make sure BritizensCon in chat to get a link to BritizensCon. If those of you in chat that don't know, it's a UK fan-organised convention event. It's on next year in Manchester, so if you haven't got your tickets for it, go to the BritizensCon.uk website.
We'll all be
buy
there.
Your tickets. Make sure you turn up. All of us will be there. Mac and I are hosting the stream on the day. But yeah, go and check the website out. Go and buy your tickets. And other than that, I am also getting completely wrapped up in D&D at the moment. So last Friday, I ran a little D&D session on stream.
Is that dudes and dicks?
It was so much fun. Dudes and dicks. Dicky dudes. It was awesome. It was so much fun. We had such a blast.
So we've kind of jumped in at the deep end by running DMing and running a game like that, which I have no clue what to do. So it's like watching idiots. Yeah, like you do now, basically, but playing D&D and drinking. So
yeah.
So depending what to do, that will be next week or the week after.
Next week? What are you talking about?
Friday. This week. Friday.
This week?
Maybe. Well, no, because it might be next week. It depends on if I do the BritizensCon stream. So.
Oh. Don't disappoint me.
We'll talk.
Oh, yeah. Between the madness
you can still turn up because we're going to do some character creation.
Oh, okay, cool. That'd be good. I had a blast with that, Miss.
I know you can do 2 hours, but I'll probably come on afterwards anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
Just keep an eye out for it. But follow my channel. Join my Discord as well, and if you're interested in watching or listening and joining in, then you'll hear about it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's me.
Mac?
Bio? Do you want to go next?
Or Bio? Bio, yeah. Mac last.
Bio Mac.
Bio Mac. One of you two, whichever one wants to go for it.
Go on, Bio.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to be streaming. You can catch me at Bio_mechanical on Twitch. Mainly only play Star Citizen, guys. I'm looking to kind of stream some other kind of sci-fi games, but I'm just going to figure out what are the best ones to do. So this week I'm going to be streaming on Wednesday and Thursday because it's my work week, and I do stream when I can. But yeah, Wednesday and Thursday will be 2 times. So I'll be streaming at 12 p.m. GMT, and then I'll be starting again in the evening about 8 p.m. GMT on both days. And then on the Saturday, I've also got the Theories of the Verse. It's a show that me and Saints are doing, and it'll be at 9 p.m. GMT. Theories of the Verse.
Oh, I'm sure you said Fairies of the Verse.
You need to give a Christopher Walken impression for somebody, by the way, before you finish.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
I still want to hear.
You have a request for a Christopher Walken.
I think you should. We'll see if we can find him.
You should do that. Your name, Bio. Give us your name, where we can find you in a Christopher Walken.
Oh, it's really hard just to kind of get into it.
Yeah, go for it. Imagine like that. I'm trying to trigger you into it.
It's hard just to kind of get into it. It takes me a while.
Think about a gold watch, shoving it
whacking in the house. The Fairies of the Verse.
Fairies of the Verse. Okay.
Fairies of the Verse.
Hard to do.
Biomechanical. Twitter. Whatever it is. I don't know. I can't do Christopher.
It's one of those ones that it's very difficult to do, Christopher Walken.
I like to meet you in dark alleys and stick watches in dark alley places.
Cowbell. Bio on at the end. Just keep going.
Kept this watch.
up my ass for 8 years. It was your father's.
That was the best line of that film.
It was so good. That scene was amazing. Amazing.
Mike.
Uncomfortable motherfucker. Mac, where can we find you?
Twitch.tv/SupermacbrothersRyan and YouTube SupermacBrothers.
And we've all discovered the reason why Mac isn't partnered, by the way. We've all discovered why Mac's not partnered.
Motherfuckers, yeah.
Somebody else has got his name.
What the fuck are they doing?
It can't be anything to do with that. It's a separate account, you know. The one
I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
But I'm eligible. I've been eligible
You've been
for a while.
eligible for ages.
The fuck are they doing?
I'm an eligible bachelor.
I keep poking them.
I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I really.
Maybe you need to nipple flick them instead.
Matt gets like almost, what's it, 100 and like, what's your average now?
I think it's about 150, something like that.
150, more than what we've got now. He's his average, and he still isn't partnered. And you've had it for a month now, plus probably.
Fuckers don't know what they're missing out on.
They have no idea what they're missing out. I completely agree, Mac. Superstar, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
No, bless you all. Thank you. Love it.
You'll get it. You'll get it. I guarantee it.
Keep following him and
keep following him. Pest to Twitter. Pest Twitch.
Tweets Twitter and says, "Why the fuck have you not?"
Yeah. We should all. I'm gonna
partnered him.
I'm going to start a little campaign to Twitch. I'm going to start saying to Twitch, saying, "What the fuck is going on? Why haven't they partnered you? I have no idea." So yeah, definitely give him a follow, 100%. And we can find you on Supermac Brothers,
Ryan on Twitch, and Supermac Brother on YouTube, Supermac Brother on Instagram and Twitter. I'm everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Many pies in my eyes.
Absolutely. And you're going to have a latest video will be out probably, tomorrow now on the new 300?
All right, let's not sign up to it.
Origin? Immediately.
Every day he puts a video out.
I unfortunately decided to do an overview of the everyday sale, and then I realised, hang on, there's 8 days of this. Now I've signed myself up to it. So yeah, there should be the Origin sale coming out tomorrow, because I started off doing it on the day. Oh, what?
Are you doing the singing bit at the end as well?
The singing bit? Oh, yeah. God. No. That was cringy as fuck, wasn't it? That was awful.
They're doing it on all of them now.
It's like when you saw Santi, like, are you ready? And it's like, what are they doing? And you could just tell instantly, couldn't you? Before they did it, that something cringe was going to arrive.
Are you ready? 3 sounds. Oh my God.
Start showering.
And Madness. Let everybody know who you are.
You will find me on Mask the Heroes Reunion 2000 Mask Crusader. I should put the music on. Now you will find me on Littlebitofmadness. Obviously my channel. You obviously come here now. If you haven't hit the follow button, please hit the follow button. I do appreciate it. I stream as much as I possibly can. It's a bit varied. I don't have a full schedule. I try to keep to it. Morning streams most weekdays, other than Thursdays, and then Friday it's afternoon stream. But it does fluctuate depending on my work schedule and stuff. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be streaming on schedule. For the rest of the week should be on schedule. As my boss is in Munich, and then we'll see how it goes. I don't stream on weekends. That's family time. But yeah, other than that, come hang out. I appreciate you all.
Catching him playing a rogue on Fridays.
Yeah, and Fridays, yeah, come check out my Velros White Hand Kalros. The Elven, he's an Elven Ranger. He's a badass, dual blades, sick.
And he now owns 2 ogre balls as well.
And I hang on.
All the ladies.
I've got a picture. Hang on. Don't worry.
He now owns 2 ogre balls after last Friday's.
Yeah, I did strip a ogre of his nuts.
He stripped.
I stripped his nuts off. Yeah, he killed my friend Trinity. He crushed him with an axe, and I wasn't impressed. So we took his nuts.
I'm going to rip your nuts off.
We ripped his nuts stealthily. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty.
Stealthily, so I won't shout it first.
He didn't even know it happened. He was already dead.
I was going to do that. I was going to say that in Christopher Walker.
Hang on. Let me. Oh, Miz, I think I'm probably...
It's not your character, because he hasn't got that armor yet, so...
It will do, though.
The longest sign-off on any podcast ever.
Yeah, I know.
Hang on, don't worry.
There's going to be no one left by the time he gets to show it. Like, here we go! Oh!
I don't care. Look, here it is. So here we go. This is it. It was a random moment, but this is my. I'm going to be purchasing this and wearing it on stream. I think will be the plan. Full. I have got so deep into this is ridiculous. So I think this is pretty badass. I blame Miz for every single moment of my.
You're about elbow deep into it now, aren't you?
I am fully elbow deep into it. So yeah. Anyway, yes, that's where you can find me. So if you don't follow me on this, follow me on Littlebitofmadness on pretty much everything. Same as Mac, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, the works.
Same as Mac.
Same as Mac, but with a different.
Same
name.
as Mac, but with a different.
Otherwise,
name.
you'll find me.
Same as all of us, but with a different name.
Lazy plug.
Oh god! Right, brilliant. Thank you guys, and we will see you all. We will see you all next Monday, same time next week in the verse. 3 point. Fuck off! Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. See
Three
you.
hammerheads, 2 Oh, sorry, I thought that's what we were doing.
Right. Hang on, am I hosting somebody? Do I really
Just
need to host
fucking
someone?
cancel this.
Just quick, turn it off.
Okay. Ending stream now. I'm not going to host anyone tonight, guys. We're just going to end it.
Coming.
See you guys.